Keen Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Keen Gaming's turn to ban.
Welcome back, guys. More CDA Dota 2 coming your way. Keen Gaming versus Aster. Both of them close to the bottom of the pack here in the CDA League leaderboard. Aster 1-5, Keen 0-5. Both of them trying to make some kind of a climb. I'm basically back here once again. Joining me is Danog. What do you make of the matchup?
Well, the advantage that they're going to be able to take into this with winning the 1v1 is going to be very important. Keen Gaming selecting Radiant with their priority, so Team Aster able to decide that they wanted the second pick. So I don't think either team's going to be too unhappy with how things turned out.
I wonder if CCC would run it back on the Invoker. It's like, I've lost the Invoker 1v1, now I need to bust out the Invoker in the actual game and win with it. That'd be interesting. I would not be opposed. I don't know how good Invoker is currently, but...
Ten seconds remaining. Keen Gaming's turn to ban.
Yes. Yeah.
Dire team ban. Keen Gaming's turn to pick.
For teams like Aster and Keen, who, I mean, Aster's had a surprising level of success. They just keep seeming to make it to the majors when they were running, but then didn't perform all too well. Whereas Keen, they've had the opposite issue. They have trouble even getting to these sorts of things. But sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. And they're going to go with the Phoenix with their first pick to try and make something happen for themselves.
I think for Keen, I was looking over the recent results, and I feel like I can make more excuses for Keen in that they're newer, less established roster, right? In the case of Aster, I think it's a little bit more difficult. They do just kind of seem to be slumping a bit. I was having a look over the recent results. They did have a win in the other league that's going on. I think that's the CPL. They took a 2-1 win over LGD, and they do seem to have IG's number at the very least. Of 2-1 wins over them recently, but other than that, haven't been looking that great. So I guess we'll just have to see happening in this game. Keen, I will reiterate my criticism from yesterday. I feel like they still just don't really look completely like a team just yet. So I guess giving the edge to Aster here, but like we're pointing out, this is a bit of a slap fight at the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, and man, you can really tell why teams ban out Timbersaw these days. Both the fact that it's just an insane hero, you know, lots of flexibility, lots of space creation, and a ton of damage, but all these strength heroes that seem to be in the meta are just flourishing by the fact that Timbersaw is an early ban.
Yeah, especially all of these like strength supports, I suppose. It's not something that's been necessarily popular or even an option in the past. Of course, Snapfire, relatively new addition to the roster. We do seem to be stabilizing in a little bit on some of these bans, though Keen seem to be just trying something completely different. They've picked a ton of team fights so far, though not like, it's quite a bit of catch and good team fight, but I wouldn't say the most reliable lockdown in the world. And Aster have secured themselves the Dragon Knight, which if people weren't listening earlier for our earlier cast, this is one of the best heroes, at least stats wise, for the current patch. He's rocking like a 70+% win rate over 80 games that's competitive matches for this patch, so completely understandable that Aster prioritizing it so heavily here.
their roster's changed around so significantly that can't say that there's too many remnants of that old version outside of their mid laner. It used to be Dark that played it to a high degree of effect.
5 seconds remaining.
So
I'm enjoying seeing something a little bit different, you know?
Yeah.
I say different, but Disruptor in my mind is still such what with it, and perhaps it's a little harder to do that against these tankier heroes like the Dragonite and the Snapfire, but I think still overall it should be an all-around solid hero for them. It always has some sort of presence in the game, as long as you don't come up against a hero that's able to just get on top of you with no fear of any sort of counterplay.
I don't know if I completely agree with you, because my way of thinking about Disruptor is that it's a little bit high risk, high reward. Like, his laning is not amazing, and so he's not going to contribute much to you winning the lanes. And if you lose the lanes and the enemy team is just running at you, I think Disruptor can just feel completely useless. Like, if you're ever using Glimpse defensively, I think Disruptor just feels terrible. Like, it's amazing when you're winning and you're getting this +1 kills and preventing the enemy team from running away from you, but otherwise I think he can be really ineffective.
I know what I said though.
Huh?
I felt like I was saying that that was my point. Other than the fact that like Static Storm, regardless, is always a great ultimate, you know. Whereas something like a Shadow Shaman, Mass Serpent Wards are nice, but you really need to be winning for them to have a more significant impact.
Maybe I misunderstood you, but I thought you said that he just always has this like consistent strength to him, and I was just thinking, oh, that's not. Okay.
The game is essential.
Yeah, and certainly a nice hero to have against the Shadow Shaman. Gives you a couple of really nice long-range ways to interrupt a shackle if needed. Keen just going even further down the teamfight route here as they pick up the Underlord, but still sort of this problem of the catch and the lockdown not being super reliable. A lot of just like walking up and maybe you throw out a pit, maybe you manage to get a glimpse, but none of these are hard stuns. So
I don't know if you really need it though. Do they have many elusive heroes that are going to get away if you don't get those instant things off? I think it's fine. And I think what this Shadow Shaman pick does is it also opens up a huge opportunity for Keen to take Phantom Lancer, who just rips through any sort of Mass Serpent wards, and it's a pretty decent pick against the DK and the Snapfire as well.
Yeah, could be okay here. I feel like in my mind, I guess DK is pretty mono reliant, so getting mono burn sucks, but he does also have good AoE. And now Aster's just going to go for Pangolier. My main worry for Keen currently is that their entire lineup is just countered by BKB. Their lineup absolutely does nothing against BKB so far. So, and there have been times when there have been metas in the past where you see these Dragon Knights, and especially Dragon Knights out of China, just rush BKB super duper fast. After maybe like a tread drum or something like that. So that's a bit worrying. We'll see what Keen can do about it. I don't know if they would have any thought of picking up like I don't know, Bloodseeker? I'm not even sure what else comes to mind. That hero seems dead.
He's in the bin.
Yeah, and there's so much nuke damage as well on Aster. Like, they're tanky, but they also have tons of nukes and lockdown.
I still like the PL. I feel like he's able to come online at a certain point. He's going to be able to deal with his Shadow Shaman very well. As you said, Dragon Knight is heavily reliant on his low mana pool. So if you're able to burn it down, sure, you're not going to be doing too much right-click to this Dragon Knight with a Phantom Lancer, but it enables the rest of your team to follow up on what you're looking to do. And Phoenix and Underlord both have some great percentage-based damage as well as stuff that just straight up ignores his high armor.
Is there any world where Keen maybe takes Slark as well? Okay. Wait. What? Why? Why TA?
I don't.
This just looks like an awful TA pick. Like, you're playing against a disarm, and you're playing against some pretty solid stuns, and you're playing against a really high armor Dragon Knight that you can't burst, and who also has damage over time. And I mean, maybe it's just a comfort thing, and they're, you know, TA always kind of okay at just being able to come out of the lane, flash farm through the jungle, but not at all what I was expecting for Keen here.
No, definitely not. And they had a lot of time to think about it. I guess, yeah, the disarm is really what's going to frustrate me. I mean, I suppose it means that they need to go a bit earlier on into the BKB themselves, which I don't think is something that they want to do. But picking up the Visage out there gives them some, you know, consistent damage. You're not as worried about the BKBs now.
Yeah, I kind of like that it's given them another stun as well, or gives them an actual stun, and the familiars can give a little bit of vision for glimpses and stuff like that. Seems like they just want to play a really sort of 5-man heavy strat, but I feel like Aster could just as well take this into like a 5-man situation, and I think I even like their lineup a little bit more when it comes to these 5v5s. The Tango just looks so value. I'm just picturing this Rolling Thunder going through the fight, and there's nothing to deal with it at all.
What are you going to hit it with? Visage doesn't have the greatest range for his right clicks, and neither does the TA. Underlord needs to be right up there, so it's not like you can have any sort of ranged counterplay against it, like you might be able to with, not that they're in the meta, but the Sniper, for example, or a Deucer, or, you know, crazy things like that.
Yeah,
I prefer an Aster.
Yeah, I think I'm liking Aster a bit more here as well. I'm also now a little bit afraid for this Underlord too. The lane is looking pretty scary for him, unless they can keep it like hugged up back by his tower. I'm just picturing that he gets the swarm on him and the Weaver just chases him down the entire length of the lane and gets the kill, and then with any help from Shaman or the Snapfire, should be a pretty easy takedown. And Underlord just does so little if you have a bad start. You can flash farm back up a little bit, but so much of your hero is about getting those early items and being tanky and just applying constant pressure. So if you're just sitting back on your side of the map farming, really not doing a job.
Yeah, and if you're not really pressuring the map out either, which I feel the Visage needs in order to create kills, because, you know, similar to the way that Underlord can flash farm to come into it, you've got Visage that needs kills in order to actually progress into the later stages.
Yeah, kind of similar to similar in ways like the Ricky that we saw in some of these earlier games. If you just don't have a good start, don't secure things at least reasonably well out of the lanes, your game can be very tenuous. So we got Fade starting with some boots. Has Snapfire really just like position 5 now? Is that the world that we live in? I feel like we haven't been seeing it as a dedicated 4 as much.
I've seen it 3 a couple of times. I feel like it's just struggles with that kind of middle ground where you need to be rotating a little bit more, but your presence in the lane is so much stronger that you don't really want to be moving around the map all that much.
Yeah, not the most amazing ganking support, I suppose. So, alright, what's going on here? Underlord is starting with 3 tangos, TA faking out.
He was
not
checking.
Faking out wards, just checking. Wards. Did he get into tower range or anything though?
Not sure.
I feel like that
was in vision.
Yeah, I guess that might work as a check, but may have just.
Battle begins.
Alright, so pos 1 Visage. We'll see how it goes for him. They just need to completely dumpster this lane if he's going to be able to do it. And like we were saying before, Disruptor, I suppose there's not too many better heroes you would want to be laning something with, right? If you've got this Soul Assumption as well, that's a lot of damage that's being dished out with the Thunderstrike, so you're going to be harassing quite heavily against these Aster off lane.
Yeah, I think they need to keep them nuked down, because otherwise they don't have any way to really save one another. So if there is like an early shackle coming out, or Pangolier just swashbuckles in aggressively, there's not really a whole lot they can do for one another. Triple C trying to get this top wave under control, zoning Underlord back, but we do have YDS up here now already, so gonna help out and make sure that Underlord doesn't come under too much pressure as Fade faking out the sentry. Yeah, pretending that he's actually just bot blocking it, and I mean, Apu not going to think about sentrying it perhaps for the next minute. No, he does have a sentry ward.
Yeah, might cause them to overcommit as well, to make sure that Fade doesn't have the freedom to go and do that next time around at the 2-minute mark.
So far, mid lane matchup going pretty well for Chuan. Just CS in a way. It's a really a decent matchup for Dragon Knight.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
At all stages, really.
Damage. Fade getting gone on somewhat. Afu even throwing out the kinetic field here. X success, not a lot that he can do. He gets the disarm disruptor, but Afu still gets the first blood. It's a little bit too squishy, and I guess the problem that I was talking about for Keen also goes the opposite direction. Not a ton that Pangolier can do to help out his buddy when Fade gets gone.
Yeah, you can tell that Fade is trying to get quite aggressive onto Erica here, given that Visage does have the 0 armor at level 1. So that pep right click from the Shadow Shaman's got to do a lot of work, but you're putting yourself in a position to get gone on.
And this is deep going for the Gravekeeper cloak early on here, so we'll not be going for an early point in the Grave Chill. You do have a pretty hefty mana cost on the Soul Assumption already. Kind of difficult to your actives early on. Ooh, Dragon Knight kind of low mid, but he's got 2 points in Dragon's Blood, so good luck. He's gonna continue to do just fine.
But continuing to block out, so still no small camps, even though it's been dewarded.
A little bit of shenanigans here on the big camp, but Success does secure that one for himself. Both heroes on the mid lane getting very low, but TA just going to pop the salve and be okay. Dragon Knight relying on the 2 bracers worth of tankiness to just keep on CS and sustain the lane.
SC up top is having a bit more of a difficult time against the Underlord. He's starting to use the Atrophy Aura to his full advantage. Might be trying to go for a kill on YDS, but alright.
Drag the wave a bit here, but not really getting that much, as Fade will sneaky come and grab this outpost. Don't think it's really all that meaningful just yet. We are seeing, every time we see the Underlord, it feels like they are going for this really heavy Atrophy Aura build early on. 2 points picked up so far. I guess it does just help you CS, don't rely on the Firestorm early. Ooh, nice arcane rune here. Okay, chasing it down. He's got the point in the Dragon Tail, actually. And he will just yoink that away.
Pretty value. You don't want to be giving it up to the TA just to let it get a lot of these spammable spells off a lot easier.
It really is this clarity potion to last a little while. The perfection back up. Be able to keep on guessing. Opening up. We do have a rotation coming through. They want this kill on the Underlord. Is there any way to save him? YDS doing his best with the 2 points to Fire Spirit, but the Underlord realizing that he is 100% dead. Baboka, nice jump in, but see, very low and actually ticking out somewhat. That Icarus dive burn not quite enough, but they will lose the Shadow Shaman. And YDS still fighting. He's actually going to get a double kill. As Triple C, Shikuchi's forward, but that's just a triple. why would he trade with the Phoenix like that? I guess he thought he could hit it.
Yeah, didn't realize that the Central was down there, and it just shows the disadvantage of taking a team fight at such an early stage in the middle of the enemy team's creepware.
At the same time, XXS picking up a solo kill at bottom. Brings down Erica. That was no help from anyone else. Dragon Knight popping the ultimate at mid. YDS once again on the rotation, but the Dragon Tail gonna lock him down in the middle of the lane, and now the tower just going to work. Low armor on this Phoenix. He will find the turnaround, but still just ends up being the supports dying on the mid lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So farm continues to be very even mid. Fade is kind of lurking over here. Spots the TA now. TA spots him. Do need to be careful for these side traps. And Afu also in the area. On level 3. Underlord with a ton of farm.
Yeah.
How much net worth does he actually have? He is number 1 on the net worth. And attempt on the Dragon Knight's life. Should be able to walk forward. There's the glimpse coming back. DK's pretty tanky. Just gonna throw out the stun and try to walk this one off, but Phoenix also coming in. He's got the Fairy Fire. I don't know if that's gonna be enough to save him. Boots getting delivered. DK tanking. And looks like living. 3 points in the Dragon's Blood. Definitely saving him there.
Yeah, not quite close enough to get that Thunderstrike off either. Choosing to max out the glimpse, so Afu really relying on the fact that King Gaming are going to have a strong early game and be able to transition that into more kills, into objectives early on, especially once this Visage hits into his level 6. Just hitting into 5 now. Let's go on the extra points.
The glyph in the way. If they want the dive on the Visage, they found him. Everyone is TPing down here. Fade's in danger. XXS does have the Rolling Thunder. Good damage through, knocking back the Underlord. Fade's going to be brought down though. XXS just trying to make his exit. There's not enough mana for a glimpse or anything on the Disruptor, so it will just end up being the Shadow Shaman brought down, and Erica's going to be forced to swap over to the top side since the Underlord TP bottom, and they don't want to give the Weaver a ton of free damage. Though I think SCCC might actually be able to force the Visage out of the lane as well, at least before he gets his level 6. Yeah.
Unfortunately for Weaver, no points in the Swarm just yet, otherwise this Visage would be absolute paper if he was trying to go on him.
Yeah, a little bit surprised not to see the point early on, but SC maybe just not feeling like he can do much with it. We do already have the Elder Dragon form back up, so DK making his rotation towards the top lane. They really want this tier 1 tower. And they've got the other lanes being held down though. Fade, not a ton that he can do at the mid lane to stop this TA. This would be a great trade if King Gaming could get it. Taking out the mid tier 1 tower just for losing the top tier 1. Though I don't know if they're going to give it up that easily. They have mass TPs ready, and the Rolling Thunder is also available for XXS. Fade just with the Shackle coming through, often getting completely controlled. He is about to lose his life, but both of these supports in big danger as SCCC also swings his way in, and it will just be a 2-for-1 support trade. That top tier 1 tower almost dead. Boboka wants it. Erica wants to deny. Who's going to get it? Boboka, I think it's going to take him more than 1 hit to finish. Yeah, it's actually going to take him a couple, but it looks like he's still going to get it.
You can see just how scared Eric is, though, of any sort of rotations coming through. Only just hitting up onto level 6 at the 9-minute mark and sitting down in the 6th position on the net worth, equivalent to the Phoenix. And where you don't have that comeback potential outside of these kills, it's going to be a rough one for the Visage.
Yeah, still just trying to farm up Humble the Dominator. XXS having a great game, just back down farming at bottom, and not a very long cooldown, the Rolling Thunder, so we'll be ready to potentially fight at mid if it comes to it. Underlord just going to be going for a pipe early on here, definitely, like we talked about, tons of magical damage on the Aster side, though no slouch either when it comes to the physical damage output, so we'll see how King are going to be able to manage. Very aggressive builds from both mid laners. A blink on the TA queued up and a blink for the Dragon Knight going to be the selection.
See, the physical damage, the armor reduction is going to be something that SC is prioritizing. He's gone for the boundary room with a cheeky shikushi, but good block off there from Apu.
Well, even with that, Aster's still gonna get two for themselves. And a rotation down towards bottom. Vlad's already completed for the Pangolier. And a Dragon Knight with another Elder Dragon form that he is more than ready to use. Interesting to see that the priority is being on these side lane towers. Aster not trying to make any kind of big move for the mid tier 1. Instead, just poking, prodding, forcing responses elsewhere. From Keen. And okay, now with the Underlord TPing bottom, the Dragon Knight is going to TP mid and try and take out the tower there.
It's pretty realistic, boys. That's what he said to him. And
but he's got Dark Rift, so he can still chase if he really wants to.
Yeah,
here we go. Yeah. Oh, there's action happening top. Oh, Visage in a bit of a dangerous position, trying the familiars to buy space for himself. He will hold back the Snapfire. Erica is in no man's land. What is the courier doing up here? Hello. Alright, and the familiar is now dead. Are you seeing this courier slowly just move your camera to Weaver and behold the majesty. No? There's no courier hovering
over Weaver's head.
Not directly over, but yeah, you see it now. There you go. All right.
Flying, you know?
Yeah, just chilling. I wonder how long that's going to stay there. It was moving down before, and now it's just stuck.
Well, it would have to be Visage's courier, right? So as soon as it respawns.
Yeah, I guess so. Keep an eye on it. Anyway, let's try to see TP bot. Can he get the deny? Yes, he can. Very nice. Now putting a little bit of pressure onto this TA. Refraction getting chewed through, putting out the damage, but XXL is here, hoping for a disarm proc and a little bit of a slow. They can't quite get through the refraction in time, but he is still chasing. Apu's down here though. Sandstorm Kinetic Field not going to catch up the Pangolier. He does have the Rolling Thunder available, and they just kill the egg instantly. No hesitation whatsoever. SCC still fine. Revoca with the hop away. He is going to get glimpsed back in, but XXS still running interference. We'll just end up being the 1-for-1 support trade as the Master from Wards get deployed at mid and bringing down that tier 1 tower.
And that little shredder, such value against the Supernova, able to deal with it immediately, especially at those early levels. Just to go back to your point previously about why they might be prioritizing the side lanes as opposed to mid, as I say that Afu's getting caught on and the action just doesn't stop. But
I don't think anything's happening here.
Yeah, I know there's like a little bit of cat and mouse that we were seeing going on. Like, will the Underlord rotate? Will that allow us to go into mid? But I think a reason behind why Aster are trying to do that is they wanted to take specifically the bottom towers to one away from them, because with a TA, you've always got that threat of the flash farming through the Ancients, and they just want to take away that side of the map from them.
For sure. And we've seen even more tower trading now. Tier 1 down, but the top tier 1 gone. This bottom tier 1 still stands though, so Aster gonna have to take another run at it. Though you can kind of see Chian, he's thinking about rotating down bottom though. Maybe need some attention paid towards mid. Fading gone. Let's get the Hex out onto the TA now with the Shackles, but he still gets burned down. Dragon Tail onto the Templar Assassin as Triple C running in. Can they get through this refraction? Yes, they can, but do they have the vision? No, they do not. They don't have any supports here, so TA going to get evac'd easily, though they leave Afu for dead. XXS cutting him off. And again, just more support trades. What's Visage up to? He's just farming neutrals. He's got a Owlbear Smasher up top, pushing out the wave a little bit. So cross map micro from Erica here.
Can really tell, like, within the same league, the difference between the teams that are sort of towards the top and the ones that are a little bit under. It just feels a little bit more chaotic, a little less organized for both of these teams compared to the ones that we've been seeing so far. Not that they're mechanically bad or anything, it just seems like there's not quite that level of coordination that we've seen with your, you know, your RNGs, your Vichis, your IG.
Yeah, I would say that this game on both sides feels a little bit less deliberate. Like, they're both just kind of trying to stop whatever the enemy team wants to do, but maybe not executing their own plan as much. Dragon Knight getting gone on here is pretty tanky. Key won't be able to get the blink off, but is here to break up the fight. Can they save the Dragon? They won't be able. Here comes Mortimer's Kisses. They're locking down the Templar Assassin, but he's still pretty tanky. Fade's coming over. He's actually got his Mass Serpent Wards. Underwood's holding the high ground, and they once again deal with the Phoenix Supernova extremely easily. But Boca getting chased down. Will get glimpsed back into the fight, and Erica finishes him off, but that is the last of the Visage's mana. So it does end up being just a 2-for-1. SC thinking about some kind of move there, but thinks better of running through the Firestorm.
Yeah. To go off your point, yeah, it feels very reactionary as opposed to being proactive and forcing the enemy team to, you know, to make a choice and play to your game. It feels like you're just playing preventative Dota, which in my mind is never the sort of thing you want to do unless you pick a specific draft around it, like RNG did in that game 2 against IG with the Naga Siren.
Yeah, I understand why that 5-on-5 fight just happened at mid, but I feel like a lot of these trades have not necessarily been super productive for either team. Fade is pressuring at bottom. We do have to jump in at top. Disruptor well out of position. Just trying to get a little bit of warding and de-warding done, but in the end, Aster will protect their observer. But even choosing to deny it out in the end and just put down a new one. And at the same time, that bottom tier 1 tower has been taken out. Mid lane, YDS getting gone on, SCCC getting caught inside of the pit, and now XXS looking for further lockdown on the TA, who does just blink away. They're going to try to focus on the Underlord instead. I don't think they have the burst damage, or do they? One more hit from SCCC, the maxed out Gemini attack plus the Desolator actually tearing through the Underlord, and Aster able to chase for a little bit more, perhaps.
Had the swarm on him as well. Maybe at the very end, I don't know, the Phoenix was being chased down by one of the little bugs on top of him and only survived right at the very end with the shadow sticks up as well. And it just feels like Aster are waiting for that one moment where they're able to take a fight in a bit more of an aggressive position, and then as soon as that happens, they can just immediately go into Roshan.
Yeah, they are running down towards bottom here. Once again, Apu, okay, breaks the smoke. Trench immediately jumps onto him. This was the combo that they were hoping to deploy onto the TA. This time around, but Booker gonna find himself nice little prize. Picks up the Grove Bow. Might even just give that to the Dragon Knight. Be too bad. Oh, Weaver, what's up? SCCC looks like he kind of got caught out at mid, but got the time lapse off and was able to just shoot away.
Too bad on him. I honestly don't mind the Grove Bow on the Sapphire, especially against the Phoenix, right? You just want to be able to deal with that egg from safe range.
Well, even with that pickoff, that actually turned out to be a pretty decent trade for Keen as they come in here, mop up that mid tier 1, so that's all of the tier 1 towers taken. It was kind of an inevitability. CCC is just going for a BKB. They did pick up some more physical damage towards the end of the draft on the side of Keen, but still this BKB going to represent a lot of freedom for SCCC to just run in and hunt the backlines, kill the Phoenix, kill the Disruptor, without them really being able to do anything about it. So Keen are the ones on the offensive now, taking the front foot, moving forward. This is a bit of a blind hill to be moving up, so Afu thinking about planting down a ward. They do catch a glimpse of Snapfire over towards mid, but XXS is going to be the one gone on. He just walks out of the Static Storm kinetic field. And now it's Aster's turn to chase. Blink Dagger coming off cooldown in 1 second. They found it will be the Phoenix dive already on cooldown. Can he maybe Sunray up onto the high ground? He does do so, but Fade's there with the Hex. Already has his Aether Lens picked up. TA just trying to cut the wave quickly and then get the TP out, but after that's enough for them to decide to head into the pit. They put the Blabs for sustain and the Serpent Wards. Also the Minus Armor should be pretty quick.
I feel like Keen know exactly what's happening. They know they need to move fast. They've got this Phoenix back up online in about 10 seconds, so if anything's going to happen, it needs to happen right now.
Yep, they're coming in. Underlord, the pit doesn't have the Firestorm for a couple of seconds, so they don't have the damage. Aqua keeping them contained with the kinetic field, but that's right where Aster want to be. They just want this Aegis. Now the Firestorm finally coming through. They're not going to pick up the Aegis on the Pangolier. XXS, he is insanely tanky, and now he has a second life. thought they would have maybe put that on the Weaver, but I guess he's almost got BKB, so he doesn't need it.
Just a little bit of luxury, I think, and maybe panicked knowing that he'd have a good amount of team fight, especially in these small areas, you know, Firestorm, Disruptor, Ulti, Phoenix Egg, and just wanting to make sure it wasn't snatched out of their hands.
Yeah, there could have been a dive through, there could have been a TA blinking in, would have been pretty treacherous. It was maybe still just respawning, but
another 3 to 5 seconds he could have been there, but just panicking a little bit, not wanting to give away this slight lead that they've got at the moment.
And Boboga actually got pretty decent farm, full 4 staff on this KB, but it's going to take a little bit, and this DK is just going to be up in her face every single fight.
And you got to be on point with knowing when to use it as well, just because of that disarm interaction with the BKB.
And the next this is also going for a halberd. Plus they've got the full crimson guard now. Oh my god.
Plus the lucky shot, the says.
Yeah. Oh boy. It really just does not look like a great game at all. It's doing okay, 3-0 and 2, but it just, if you're relying on the TA to be the big force in your mid to late game, I think Aster's lineup really has their number. We got some tower trading going on. Underlord could always go for the Dark Rift out. XSS is coming up. It's going to just go straight into the middle of this fight. Underlord, does he actually have the tools to escape here? On the backlines, Fade is locking them down. He's got the Vintage completely trapped inside of these Mass Serpent Wards. Underlord going to try for the evac.
Going down.
They will get it, but TA getting chased on the other side of the fight will be brought down by the Fire Snap Cookie. And just ends up being a 1-for-1, but a great 1-for-1 for Aster.
Yeah, could have been even better. The bugs didn't actually connect onto the Underlord there, so wasn't getting the constant ticks of the minus armor, not the quickest swings to be able to deal with them, and he just had to book it out of there.
They're walking out onto the map, but this is a pretty dangerous position for Keen to be in. Dragonite has some pretty fast catch. He can go blinking past his tower shortly. Phoenix is in a good position, but unfortunately no Spirit Vessel charges, and not going to land on the couple of Fire Spirits. Aster still wanting to muscle down the tower if they can. Nice pit going to catch on 3. That ensures the Spirits onto XXS and SCC, but even with that, they still just focus everything down. Fade TPing to this bottom outpost. So I would imagine that so Radiant didn't get any experience off of the 20-minute outposts, and
Don't believe so, no.
things just kind of sliding away from them
Yeah.
as the minutes go past.
And good presence of mind by Aster as well, realizing that the glyph was used previously on the tier 2 in bot lane, so even if you've only got a TA dead for, what, 30 seconds, they were relatively free to take that push into the mid lane.
Ooh, that's just playing around with them, but I mean, he's still got the Aegis for another minute, so he can really go and stand wherever he wants. So dive in, back behind the tower, Vincent in danger. He's also being hexed up. Can they get him out of here? Phoenix doesn't want to use the Supernova defensively. He knows that it would just get cleaned up, so in the end just dives away. XXS snipes both of the birds inside of the trees. So Erica will be forced to resummon once he respawns. Tier 2 dead, and they're going in looking for a little bit more. Matt Serpent Wards up onto the high ground, lockdown onto this Underlord. He is getting mowed down. Phoenix, this is the most optimistic Supernova I have seen in a while. And that just gets taken out easily. Buyback from the Underlord to try and hold it, but I don't think they're going to send Aster anywhere. And King, I mean, not even all here. TA is still waiting on a teleport scroll to be able to come back and defend. Just trying to grab this BKB quickly. And meanwhile, there's a dive underneath the tier 4 towers. The Disruptor dives. He buys back now. They've almost got their Phoenix back. TA is still just taking the bottom tower. The Aegis has been reclaimed. And they will get a glimpse back. Oh, I say that, but great blink from to get out of there. And oh, TA cannot afford to get caught. Hasn't TP'd yet though. Oh, Fade, he's looking. Okay, can't quite get it with the fog.
Just TPing into complete vision might have been a little bit of a mistake there. Still, they take a commanding lead now. 16k net worth, was sitting at 98% win probability, and that poor Visage in the middle of these team fights. He doesn't have the greatest base armor for himself. It's getting negated down really fast by this Weaver, and he had a full stick as well as mechanism not used in the previous encounter.
It's tough. They have, I would say, that we talked about the Disruptor, right? But the Visage is kind of the same way. He's a front foot hero. If you're getting gone on and the enemy team is just charging at you, he is really not that effective. But when you're getting when you're pushing buildings and sieging, that's a totally different story. Oh, and well, you know, Ice Frog's got planned for this game as the destruction gets picked up. So SCCC is going to be doing an insane amount of damage. Underworld is standing here on this high ground like he owns the place, but I don't think that is quite the case. As we watch this tier 3 tower start getting chunked away at. Circle Ward's also deployed. Underworld low on mana. Does have some stick charges to maybe help out a little bit. XXS. Just a swashbuckle in place as the range racks fall from DK still sieging. XXS. A little bit of chain stun, not using the second familiar there. We'll just be able to back up, reset, fade, jumping forward, looking for the Hex, won't quite find it. And Aster still sieging. They wait out the Firestone and they come back up onto the high ground. Nice pit is going to catch them. Lift at the last moment as the TA is taking the, well, trying to take the tier 3 top side. But still, it's a TP back and Fade is actually going to go looking for him. You can't show on this weight. Yeah, Fade's got him. And now he's got a shackle. And the TPs are coming. Baboka forced that forward stun. They've worked through the refraction. Do they have any more interrupts, though? They do not. And the TP out is going to be successful. Okay, well, he bought some space, actually. That range track's still alive. So I guess that worked out in the end.
I mean, small miracles, really.
Yeah.
It's looking rough for them regardless. It's just the thing with the Visage, right? Like, Visage Disruptor, they had a really good start to the game getting the first blood, probably due to a bit of an overextension by Fade, but it's just kind of the thing like, oh, you know, just win your lanes, XD, you know, it's easy.
Yeah.
But if everything can work out for you all, then
okay. Decent damage on the Pangolier, but he's still pretty tanky. BKB forced out early. They have to be worried about this Heaven's Halberd. XXS is still living, though, and they get him out of there. Just way too tanky with all of this armor plus the Heaven's Halberd. And now they can go on the offensive. He swashbuckles to gain a little bit of HP. Prowl, as is the Dragon Knight. YDS going to go for the TP out. He will make it. But SC trying to cut off these retreat routes, as he's also grabbing a little bit of farm.
And that forced out another BK, well, the first BKB usage from the TA as well. So realizing the threat that Halberd has, you could see XSS was trying to use it onto him, but you know, even with that not being able to be used and being in the static storm, take him down. I don't know about that.
Fade's got this catch, I think. Get that Phoenix. Send the DK forward. Let him secure the kill. TA still ratting bottom. Can probably get this tier 2 tower. Shun's respawning very soon. Aegis and Cheese ready to be claimed there. I think with that, Aster should just be able to close it out. Fade's once again hunting for the TA. Spider legs, pretty nice. But Russian's just getting chunked. And looks like this time Aegis is going to be going to SC. We got the cheese on the Dragon Knight, and as we saw in that last fight, XXS is more than tanky enough. TA, hello? Just walking up to the wave? That is going to be the end of you, my friend. SC comes in. I don't even think he got any crits there. Just easy damage.
Yeah, it's a minute on the sidelines. Roche was taken, so you know they're not doing it anymore, and you choose to stay in the lane. It just, I don't know, he's trying to get everything that he can, try and push the limits, but there's an extent to which you can do that. Yeah,
well, and an extent you can do it against a hero like Shadow Shaman. Right? You're not going to blink away faster than Fade can blink Hex you. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, with Aether Lens.
Yeah. So Aster, Generax down. Let's see how tanky you are. SC gonna do quick work of it. Pops the BKB, still surviving for a little bit longer. Does get the halberd out, but XXM is just completely rolling through this entire fight. Couple more hits, SC to finish that kill. Visage getting melted by the two supports. Shackle combining up with the Mortimer's Kisses from beyond the grave. He will call the GG as Aster now begin a little bit of a fountain dive, and they will convincingly take this game.
Yeah, I mean, from the very beginning, we were uneasy about the draft coming through from Keen, and it just felt like Aster, some great individual plays, some sacrificial plays as well, but
5 seconds remaining. Keen Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Keen Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Keen Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Keen Gaming's turn to
Welcome
ban.
back, everybody. Game 2, Keen Gaming versus Aster. We're just going to have to see if Keen can put something a little bit different together here. Draft is looking similar. Matt, what you make of it?
Well, there's no IO coming through, so obviously a little bit worried on Keen's side for that. Also not wanting to deal with the snap fire. Maybe,
10 seconds
I
remaining.
don't know, it looks like they're getting rid of some forms of save on Aster's side, so going for the pick-up potential.
We are going to see the Phoenix removed, so even though they did, well, I guess want to deal with it, I suppose, even though they seem to be fine in the previous game. Death Prophet still getting banned out. Keen going to get rid. I guess they don't have to ban the Dragon Knight if they want to pick it. They do have the first pick overall here.
I just want to go on for something different, you know?
Hmm.
We haven't seen a Chen today. That's
Yeah.
so.
What else got banned in the previous game? No
Dire
wondering.
team ban.
I think AA did.
Okay, so they banned the Dragon Knight. Your wish. Aster. I don't know. Mars is still in the pool. Pango's in the pool. They banned what? So they banned Mars and AA in the previous game. They can only get rid of one of them here, so they're gonna have to make their decision. Keen went for some kind of weird bans, like they banned Ember and Pug.
5 seconds remaining.
Still banning out the Wisp and the Marana. There could, of course, there's always the possibility that there is additional context here that we don't actually have. I don't know if these teams scrim against each other or anything like that. But Aster are also taking a second to make their decision here about how they want the draft to play out or what they're willing to give away. I guess I really don't know. Is there that much of a consideration? Like, is AA a hero that you would counterpick if you let it through? But seemingly they're more willing to let the Mars through than the Ancient Apparition.
Dire team
Yeah,
pick.
I think they just want to take out all of the flat push heroes, and we're seeing something a little bit different right now with the Shadow Demons. So both, well, a lot of Chinese teams actually seem relatively scared to let it through, but it's going to be a factor this game, as will the Ember Spirit.
Keen Gaming.
It's been getting banned a ton, but we haven't really seen it getting picked so much. Oh boy, here comes a combo. The Ember Keeper of the Light making an appearance. This is scary stuff. I was just wondering where all the Keeper of the Light has been, but here you go. It's getting picked up.
All right, here we go. Some different stuff. This is what we came to see, you know? It opens up the possibility for the Ember Spirit to actually be run in the safe lane as well, as opposed to just being a mid laner, because he combos quite well with the Keeper of the Light, but otherwise I would say he's a little weak.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I hate Split Ember.
5 seconds
But
remaining.
I do also think Legion Commander, nice pick here. Already plenty of stuff to dispel. The hard lockdown on the Ember always going to be nice.
Dire team
So definitely, I'm already, I think, more fan of Keen's lineup than the previous game. This is closer to current meta is, then
And well, I suppose a lot of the on both the push style ones that can just keep the waves constantly pressured in, with the Timbersaw, as well as Phoenix. Sorry, not Phoenix. The DP, the DK. So yeah, just a little bit different this time around. I don't mind it. It's just a matter of, are they going to go for full team fight synergy? Are they going to go for pick off potential? What is it that's going to actually, give them a winning strategy rather than be a bit piecemeal?
yeah. So Panga got banned, and Aster really taking their time with this next ban. I wonder what they're. I guess they're just planning the next couple of moves, right? They've got a ban into a pick.
I mean, when you think about it, like Keeper of the Light, he's offensive in the fact that you can enable something else, but he's defensive with basically everything else with this kit. So you want probably a more aggressive style support that's able to get on the front lines and tank up some of the aggression. Could be something like a Tusk that's not going to get counted out too heavily by something like the Legion Commander.
What is this Morphling about?
10 seconds remaining.
Are they thinking an Earthshaker maybe?
Oh, maybe. Is that the consideration, or is there? I'm trying to think of what other heroes like Morphling is kind of the counter to. Certainly not Mars, but Mars definitely good. Nice to have in this kind of situation. I guess Morph used to be kind of like, oh, you see Gyrocopter picked, maybe you want to pick Morphling. I don't know if Aster are thinking about picking Gyrocopter here necessarily, but
10 seconds remaining.
Not sure. They've got a very run at you lineup so far.
Are they thinking of a lifesteal or something like that?
Maybe. So far, they've got a decent amount of team fight. I like their lineup. It's kind of early and aggressive. What do you take your Keen? So I guess you just take your position 4. I don't know what I think the strongest position 4 are. I don't want them to pick Rubik. I think Chapman and Rubik is a pretty woeful support duo. I could even see something like a 4 Skywrath just as like a combo, with the Legion Commander. So they've at least got that going for them now. But this is sort of putting more eggs in the Legion Commander, like getting successful duels and scaling basket. But I think that can work.
Yeah, I think that's fine. You want to have faith in your team, right? To be able to perform their peak potential. You don't want to, I don't want to say sabotage your team, like not picking them a winning lineup, but you don't want to just have to completely, rely on individual skill. You got to give them some sort of synergy, and I don't think it's too bad just to go for a quote-unquote simple combination like the Legion's guy.
Yeah, I think the only. I guess maybe I'm thinking about this in the wrong way. Oh, what's up?
Clockwork's just hiding behind the shield, right?
Yeah. Mars is so big when he's right in the front. Yeah, I guess the nice thing as well is that since you've got the damage from the Skyrath Mage, the Legion can kind of go that slightly more utility-focused build that I would say has been a bit more popular recently, kind of getting your auras and things like that instead of like a Blink Blade Mail or something and running around getting kills. Phantom Lancer comes in, nice hero to have against Mars, not bad against the Clockwork. I think Ember used to have a better matchup against Phantom Lancer than he currently does. It's still okay, I guess, for the Ember these days, but
still okay. I think obviously it comes after this Clockwork pick, so you've got a couple of, team fight abilities that you're suddenly able to get out of. Well, 3 actually.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cogs as well as the Will-O-Wisp if you absolutely need to. That little bit of evasive action. And I'm sure we'll be seeing some 4-staffs aplenty coming out from Keen Gaming to defend against this Clockwork.
Yeah, for sure. So now our question becomes, what is the mid lane matchup going to be? Is there the potential for the Ember to still be heading mid in this situation. The Puck ban kind of keeps things open. Puck certainly has pretty good matchup against the Ember Spirit. Ember not the strongest laner in the world, let's face it. And Lesh as the ban. Certainly a nice hero to have against the Phantom Lancer, and much more effective when, I guess, there's no Dazzle or anything. Necrophos comes in now.
I guess wanting to go for this burst damage against...
Yeah, I guess it is more lockdown. It seems okay here. Very sustainy. I would say that their lineup now looks a little bit greedy on the whole. Keeper of the Light is definitely going to be buying a Glimmer Cape as fast as humanly possible.
I mean, they could go something like a... Go a Storm Spirit in this?
Yeah, I think Storm Spirit could be okay.
Pretty good against PL.
The only thing that would be a little bit weird then is that they just don't have building hitters at all.
Yeah.
They would have like 0 building damage, so it's a little bit concerning, but that's not really building damage either. Oh boy. It's been a while since I've seen a Tinker. I mean, certainly can be good against the Phantom Lancer, but this is a really interesting tack for Aster.
Man, what is going on in Dota these days? Like,
yeah, I don't understand.
It didn't even briefly enter my mind that Tinker could have been a possibility. They're going to go with it. Try and punish some of these longer team fights that Keen might be trying to go for.
Yeah, I guess Keen don't have particularly amazing siege either, but it's not like Aster have a lineup where they can just stall to the late game and win, right? So
we see a lot must pick up things like the Desolator though, so maybe that's what they're banking on. Yeah,
he can certainly scale a bit, but yeah, this is a very interesting.
It's gonna be a really long game, you reckon? Just because they can't finish.
Maybe
longer, maybe like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I guess I could still see a situation where one team ends up just beating the other one in submission, and then we see GG even without a Rax being taken. I do think both teams kind of have that kind of a lineup. Like, I think if things go badly for Aster, then their game can also just completely fall apart. They've got a bunch of relatively squishy heroes that need quite a bit of space to work with, and they don't have any ability to take these tier 1s. So if they kind of lose the lanes and just get stuck on their side of the map, I think they could quite easily just get ground out and picked to pieces, right? Especially with this, if the Legion Sky have a good game, they represent kill threat on every hero on Aster's side, no problem.
Yeah. Man, it really feels like Keen are going all in onto one like pick-off strategy with this the Soul Catcher combined with the Reaper's Scythe and any other damage that might be coming through.
Yeah, there's a couple of combos in here. It's like, oh yeah, Necrophos plus Shadow Demon and Legion Commander plus Skywrath Mage. Nice. That's our lineup. But like I don't think these heroes line up nicely in terms of their timings. I think part of it, and I have to be honest with this, is I just don't have a ton of faith in Necrophos as a hero in general. Maybe that's a little bit on me, maybe I just don't really understand it, or we don't see the hero as much. I'm so confident, but I feel like I don't 100% understand what their lineup's timing is. Boca trying to sneak up here and grab the rune away from Apu, but he is in the right place, so it looks like it is just going to be 2 taken at bottom. XXS having to take the time to go and grab both of these bounties. He's already got us picked up, anticipating that he is going to be laning against the Shadow Demon or even the Skywrath Mage, so it's going to be good value for him no matter what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a place for Necro, but not against this lineup. It's particularly, heroes that you need to lock them down for a second, who are quite invasive, as well as just using that Heartstop Aurora to deal with high max HP targets. But you have any of those on Aster at this point.
Yeah, Aster have decent burst. They certainly have heroes that can buy Vessel. And they just have a few annoying spells, in particular for Necro, like Clock just getting up in your face, Keeper of the Light maybe hitting you with the Mana Leak. Just pain in the butt.
Yeah. The thing is as well, let's say they use these coordinated abilities to great effect. Then what? Like, what if they have a buyback? Then you've got nothing for the next team fight. And that's where I feel like Keen are really going to struggle.
Nice dodge fade. Getting a little bit of pushback here. XXS also with the Rebuke. The thing to mention here is that you can spear to the cogs, right? So if you've got somebody trapped inside, you can just chuck the spear in there and get a guaranteed stun. It's opening top. So far, CS going alright for Keen in these lanes. YDS spamming things back a little bit. And this Ember Caudal lane really going to take a little while to truly find its feet.
Once it does, though, it's incredibly annoying, just to be able to be comboed down over and over again. The Harat starts to come out of control. And you have to spend bodies just buying regen as opposed to actually advancing your build.
What do you think build-wise is going to be the plan for Ember this game? Like, is he going to get point in chains early at all? Is it just Vanguard, Side of Fist, sort of max farm, max harassment?
Hard to say, right? Because you want to be able to stop all of this burst aggression coming through from the Skywrath as well as the Necro. Maybe once he starts wanting to fight, or he realizes that Necro will be wanting to fight himself.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Oh, getting done on, but just gets pushed all the way back to his tower by XXS. I don't think that's what they were planning there, but he's going to be pretty happy with how that all turned out.
But yeah, as opposed to just how your lane is going, it also will be heavily dependent on, how good of a game Necro have in these stages.
Necro is having a very good game so far, has to be said. 16-9 and Tinker only sitting at 7-4, so not having the best time. Of course, we'll be able to catch up a little bit later on with the March of the... But he is really putting it Chuan at the beginning here.
Man, imagine if just sitting in the Ancients with your Heartstop Aurora was still a thing.
I don't even want to imagine. Actually, I don't even know if that was... The annoying thing about that was like actually kind of viable. I think more frustrating were like the jungle nature's prophets, or people pushing themselves on the cliffs with branches as like Dusa or Venomancer or something, and being like, I'm jungling. That was far worse in my mind.
Yeah. You're doing nothing on the map. You're being useless. That's what's happening.
At least the AFK Necrophos got decent item timings. It was actually strong enough to get nerfed compared to some of these other heinous jungle strategies that were never viable enough to receive.
No, they just moved the high ground further away. That's just direct nerf,
OP strategy is being countered. The developers don't want to do this. What's happening over here to Gara contesting a little bit of farm, let's see, and Keeper of the Light can't really put a lot of pressure on him, and is a bit of an early in Keen's favor so far. We've got the bounty runes coming up in a second. I don't know how much they can do to contest Clockwork over here. Maybe Alpha could do something with a disruption or something like that, but fade. Ooh, he's trying to decide, do I just want the rune? Do I want to go gank mid quickly? Let's just grab a bounty and now maybe walking his way over. As Baboka actually manages to sneak past YDS, maybe using the blinding light nicely, and looks like he's going to grab both of these bounties at the top. think he might be dead, but still, I guess it'll pick up for him.
And that was perfect taunt potential, though, you know. There we go.
Yeah.
He finally gets it off.
So what's happening now? So Shadow Demon is lurking mid because they know that Clockwork is missing.
SC's taking quite a bit of harass. I've got as well on the Legion Commander the full 10 stick charges, so he's happy to just sit in the lane and contest this, force SC back a little bit. He's run out of regen, so he's going to rely on, well, actually Keeper of the Light. Remember, he used his TP to go back to base.
Yeah, he can't do a bottle refill currently. And the only person that could is if like Fade wanted to walk all the way back to the that, or I definitely could get 6 on the Tinker, and then he could rearm some teleport scrolls and get out there to help out the Emperor. But
getting really aggressive here with Yi. He's a full level ahead of this Tinker as well, so forcing the rotation from Fade, which frees up a lot more space for this Phantom Lancer as well.
Yeah, it turns out this is actually a pretty damn good matchup for the Necrophos, doubling them up.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Just want to hold the tower a little bit longer. Necrophos will just be going for a mech early on here, so really just an early fighting build. What's happening over in the jungle? ODS making moves towards this mid lane. There are a couple little stacks for the Tinker, and the Boka getting some D-wards out here. This big camp is blocked, but it seems like they are still going to get the stack of the medium and the other big camp. So very nice farm coming the Tinker's way in the next couple of minutes. Let's see. Alright, now he's going to have the Flame Guard back up. With a little bit of help, they're knocking the Skywrath over towards the tower, but it's busy killing off a couple of creeps here, and Legion Commander actually getting pretty aggro coming in. They're actually diving the tower. Nice clip used. SC trying to survive, but here comes the dual Fade. Will be able to lock in the Skywrath mage. They're at least going to get that kill, it looks like. But Legion Commander should be fine to just walk this one off. Base Boots back off cooldown, absolutely fine. And Tinker, not a whole lot that he can contribute at this early stage.
Yeah, I thought they'd done that really well with King, to be honest, when all of that stacking was happening and a lot of the aggression was happening throughout the map. Apu was checking the tri-camp just to see if there was any stacks there, made sure that there was absolutely nothing going on, but then when you see Tinker missing for a solid minute, you have to know that the stacks are in another sort of area, and they didn't seem to want to do anything to contest it. So, a little bit of an odd choice.
Can they contest this deep, though? This is a terrifying place to come and fight the...
It is, but like, it's not time, right? And you can even just stand nearby and at least soak up some of the experience.
Right.
Like, because you know he's there. There's nowhere else he could be.
Yeah, he's definitely playing on the left side. He's not going to bother going over to the tri-camp area. Can't do anything about the Ancients. Legion Commander running in here now. Stolen level 4 on the Skywrath Mage. They are making a little bit of an attempt to contest. Afu popping down another Observer, but I'm pretty sure that this is going to get de-warded as soon as they catch a glimpse of it. Legion Commander just trying to muscle through this mid-tier 1 tower. Would be an awesome pickup if King could get it here. And is it ready? Do they have the full mech on the Necrophos? They do. So he is really getting the ball rolling quickly in this game.
Absolutely. Gone in deep. He's got the movement speed as well, so he's going to have that chase down potential with the Heartstop Aurora, and talk about heroes that just are able to stay in these team fights and make a lot of stuff happen. He got clipped by the end of the Illuminate there, so we can just keep her the lights, at least stacking up some camps. And come on. They de-ward their own camp. Okay, good. It's dodging it a little bit.
Looking towards SC at bottom. He's pretty healthy, but they're just going from tower to tower. Aster really not able to put up much of a fight just yet. Desperately trying to get out these boots of travel on the Tinker. Yeah, kind of run at. I think it should be fine. There's again this Keeper of the Light. Both team experience at the 10-minute mark. A couple of bounty runes being grabbed. It's mostly going to be on Fade. and the support should be able to get their level 6 shortly. And Tinker now has the boots of travel, so a bit more map mobility available, but he's being scattered out by the Legion Commander. Should get some easy dual damage and rack it up to 20.
Yeah, very deadly, and he's going into this blade mail build as well, so even able to just walk in the middle of the March of the Machines eventually. He's going to be pretty healthy with all the sorts of save that can come out from his team, sustain from the Mechanism as well as the Necrophos, and then if worse comes to worse, you've also got the Disruption.
PL still is holding everything at the bottom with his sort of Defiance regen. Really no way to drive him out of this lane. So we'll have to see how Aster are able to keep the space going for the Tinker. Able to be a bit more mobile now, and Necrophos a little bit low on life and on mana, importantly. Spade just going to try and snag this level 6 off of the Siege Wagon. Does get it. Legion Commander completely holding down the mid lane and keeping a fairly decent lead at this early stage. Farming up.
Getting some nice stat items as well through AWP. They've gone in onto Legion Commander.
Oh, being a little bit too far forward. Master heroes here, but Legion still tanky, and YDS coming in for the assist as he jumps forward aggressively. Skyrack almost dead. And one more jump forward from SC will do it. Disruption dying a couple of seconds. And he did manage to tank through everything, but
yeah,
still something for Aster with that first hook shot.
Heavy commitment onto him, and just a little bit of fear coming from Aster as well. You know, he turned on that blade mail and everyone straight up stopped attacking.
They're really not in the situation with their heroes where they can just be bursting a blade mail. Ember is going to be going for a Battle Fury here, so it seems like Aster going back to some of the older playbooks about how to deal with the Phantom Lancer, and they are giving SC the stacks for the time being, as they're going to try and take some of the slightly more dangerous farm on the map. You can damage these Ancients, but it's just incredibly slow to do anything about it, so that Dragon's going to be chilling there for a while, and Necrophos did get pushed away from top, but you can muscle through the top tier 1 eventually. And this is what I was a little bit worried about, just sort of the map space slowly getting constricted on Aster. So they should be able to send the bleeding now that they've got the boots of travel. Just standard.
I'm really liking this by Keen though. They know exactly where the stacks are. They're wanting to take them ASAP. I've got a little like
Flipping the Wicked instead, they are being in on top of Necrophos, but can they keep the life? So go try to put the max along the HP for Tinker. Bursting down the Legion Commander. Can they get the dual damage for SC? Looks like they couldn't quite, but still double kick for Gian, and not the place for Keen to be fighting. All of Aster able to turn up for that fight.
I mean, just holding back on both the Mechanism as well as the Reaper's Scythe means that when those combos do eventually come through,
oh, they got more?
really nothing to deal with it.
Oh, YDS does get killed Clockwork, but gonna pay for this one with his life. Afu comes over trying to help out, but too little too late.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit too keen, honestly. When you've got a Ember Spirit that you're going up against, the last thing that you want to do when he's building into this Battle Fury is feed him this extra little kill. Sure, it's nice for the Skyrat, but Ember Spirit's the one that's going to be carrying this game for Aster.
Yeah, and despite a slow start, it doesn't seem like SC gonna kind of stick the landing. There are so many stacks just around the place for him to be cleaning up. Of course, Tinker also absorbing a lot of the map. Necrophos is walking top all by himself. There is a one-man hit squad waiting for him. Nobody is anywhere nearby to help. He's stunned inside of the cogs, and there he goes.
Still didn't use his back either, which...
I think he was dead no matter what, but it would be nice to use the active on this,
get that value.
Item. Yeah. Waste a little bit more of their time. How's people doing? Quick PL check. Still working on his disease blade currently. I see. Back behind the tower, taking a little bit of farm in here. Legion has this blade now and has had it for a little bit, but the progression has slowed somewhat. And XS, nice spear all the way back into the waiting SCC. Blade Mail gets popped, but another chain's coming through, and easy kill. Aster just picking off Keen here, there, and everywhere. Where are the supports? This guy is not really playing with the Legion Commander. Keen look a bit lost, to be honest.
They seem a lot lost to me, and it's going to get even worse now, considering the Ember Spirit. He's getting closer and closer to that full max slot of Fist, so you're going to have the double combo as soon as the Keeper of the Light uses the Chakra Magic on him.
Yeah, it's not control. And SC picking up Acid on the bottom tower, so getting closer and closer to this Battle Fury. Fade ready for the quick shot at mid, straight in, on top of this Necrophos. Surviving a little bit longer, potentially hit the site. That Fade's still pretty tanky though. Site should be coming soon, but there's the Will-O-Wisp. The Necrophos just getting burned out. Defensive destruction to help keep him alive. They will get the silence onto the Mars, so he can't get the arena blood down. But the Tinker is coming back in for round 2, and the damage is just going to keep on ticking out. The Blade Mail does get popped. Tinker needs to be somewhat careful with these rockets, but Keen losing a lot of life. Erica comes in hoping for the fight. They do get the lockdown onto the Ember, bringing him back. Fade trying with the defensive cogs, but now the site finds him, and Fade and SCCC overstepping their bounds on that fight, and will both get punished for it.
Finally able to take him down again, held onto that mechanism for the longest time, nearly died solo to a Clockwork and some Tinker rockets. The scary proposition, able to turn it around though, and more importantly, his kills going on to the valuable targets with both the Necro and the PL picking it up, as well as Erica getting that 3-kill streak from the Ember Spirit.
Keen's seriously just trying to hit a pretty early timing here. Legion Commander queuing up, blinking BKB, the Necrophos is just continuing to tank up. He's going to be going for a pipe after finishing up his Guardian Greaves, and haven't seen what Phantom Lancer is planning on, but has already picked up the Diffuse Blade. This Code of Defiance really seems to become a complete staple for the PL as he finds out Baboka, and that would be a super quick kill for him. XXF wanted to help out, but PL's latched on top of him. And Tinker going for a lot of little items. Full Kaya now for Chian, and also going to be going for the Aether Lens. So it's going to be a little while until we see anything like an Ags or a Hex for him.
Well, speaking of that Aether Lens, something the Shadow Demon is building too, which I think is fine. You want to make sure that your key heroes, especially the Necro, are surviving for a long time in these engagements. But I don't know, it just seems a little bit odd for more so the Skyrath to be going into a Shadow Blade. Surely a 4-star did something better.
Yeah, I really think that they need a 4-star. I guess the plan is, hey, I'm going to be able to scout with my Shadow Blade, and then my Legion can blink in, and we can get those combo kills, but I don't know about that. I guess we'll just have to see how it's out. Might change his mind. Coddle in the Glimmer Cave that I was talking about. XXS has a full pipe, and now just on back for a Vlad, so getting some early utility items here for himself, as SC is still trying to finish up the Battle Fury. Doesn't have it just yet.
He's close. 19-20 minutes is not the best, but not horrible either.
But it does seem like Keen are just buying up a bunch of little items, and open hit timing, close out the game before the Tinker becomes too much of a problem, because he is really going to give the Lancer a hard time later on. Necrophos standing his ground to get the silence onto the Mars and taking decent damage. So you get to jump in. So is it going to be enough here to bring him down? Scythe also dropped in his head, but he's not dead yet. Exit, can he get the arena of blood out? He can. Fade walking through into it. His blood was also controlling them. They just need Tinker to rejoin this for a little bit more damage. Fade chasing after the leading guy, but he can't finish him off, and SC once again walks into the fight, just gets silenced and mowed down. Now they're chasing for more. Fade might be able to pop the stick and get a cogs off, but it's just too much damage from the Phantom Lancer, and Keen Gaming taking pretty easy 3-0 there.
Way too much to do with finishes up his Battle Fury, but not enough to turn that team fight around. Like you said, he just TP'd in, walked forward, actually got the Chakra Magic on him after being silenced, so he hadn't even cast any sort of spells, and just everything went wrong for Aster in that one.
Yeah, really just needs to hang back and keep on spamming out these chains, but somehow getting pretty much every single time. To Lancer now #1 on the net worth, still just working on that S and Y. It's still going to be difficult to push in an end against Tinker, but at least with the creeps and the pipe, should be able to make some kind of an attempt at it. Though this tier 1 power standing bottom, testament to how big Tinker is going to be this game in terms of Keen trying to close it out. Are you with the Dota Plus win probability here? Did 81-19?
No, I think Alex has got a chance to come back into this. The thing is with Keen, with their item build, it's very much win now or have a tough time later on. And I'm not a big fan of any sort of item build that relies on the other team to screw up. I much prefer seeing, you know, just something that's strong at all aspects. Basically.
What have they found? They're looking for Ember. Yeah, they're really trying to muscle down this this mid-tier 1. Necrophos has been holding his ground here for the longest time, but also their bottom tower is just getting hit by this siege creep. They're using staunchly to send anybody back to bottom to defend this. What are they going to get? Are they going to try and walk into Roche? Okay, that does seem to be the plan, but this feels a little bit slow from Keen, and they're going to realize very quickly what's going on here, just scanning it out, and after heading over with all their fight ultimates available, as long as they can beat Tinker Dave, this is a pretty good place for them to fight, and the Necrophos not very healthy on the mana, as he pokes it forward, seems to not get caught. He's going to two-man chains down, here comes Chakra, the chains coming up, Necrophos getting into the wall, good defensive disruption from Alpha, he's just able to reach in there and keep him protected. Ignis Fadas in the middle of the fight, Necrophos up to the good shroud, in the back line, Boboka getting gone on, but he just TP'd out Erica in pretty deep. SCCC needs to get this running away. He's just straight back to the TP out. He also gets it. Getting left out on an island a little bit as King will continue to pursue. The Tinker should be looking for a TP back in. He's just waiting for the mana. Hook shot out from Fang, catches him from the back line. 2 heroes are locked down. The disruption comes through. That will be a dual win. Fairly into the first mark. Stands his ground fighting up against Phantom Lancer, but he gets sniped down. SCCC looking for another slight, but so much damage. He is just getting chunked for the PL, and he is now dead. Tinker, no mana, needs to set as Fade closes off the ramp, pop down the cogs, and that will be the end of this fight, at least for now. And speaking, what, 3 for 1 with a buyback on their clockwork. Keen heading back into Hiroshima.
And all of this aggression, all the damage being done by the PL, it's something that at this point, Emissaire is just not able to deal with it. He wants to be sitting back on the back sides, but he just keeps getting caught in the middle of these team fights, wanting to make something happen.
From that, Keen will take the urge on, pick up the agent, go for an immediate smoke. Tinker is trying to keep his lane shoved out, and she does have a full 3.5k gold in his coffers. He's ready to pick up the Angel and Shuntaby, but is he actually going to complete full ends, or maybe he needs to get Dagenham a little bit earlier? SC just wants to take a little jump back here at mid. Things would be looking very different. He had a similar net worth to, say, the PL, but with just as Battle Fury in his inventory, he's really not contributing that much.
Yeah, it's the type of thing where what's he going next? He's going to the BKB just to be able to deal with the mana burn that's coming out. That's the biggest thing that's hindering him in these team fights.
Yeah, I didn't have to play around the silence, right? It's just, even the BKB is not going to be a panacea for him, because there's still the duel, still the precise for lockdown. Fade catching in onto the Liquipedia, nice stun for the triangle with the same. He's got the Greek, he's got the pipe, and now they've got the duel. They're looking for the turnaround, and I think they will get it. That's a dual victory there on the backside. Phantom Lancer just tears the Keeper of the Light in half, and they've already lost the Tinker. He was in the midst of all of this, and he's already dead. XXS now getting caught, silenced up. He will be joining the rest of the Emirates back in the fountain. Sight waiting for him. SC hoping to get that tier 1 tower in the mid lane, but unable to do so. And this team gaming push, they do not have creep wave, so they will not be able to make anything further of this. But completely mopping up Aster.
Grabs everything. I'm really liking this BKB build up as well, so it stops any sort of retreat that they might be trying to do. It means that you can lock down a Tinker just for that extra second. It's all you need for this squishy invoke to
BKB or Bash?
BK. So the PL's Basher now.
Yeah, just use BKB. I was like,
oh my bad.
I was clicking around everywhere. Like, who's buying BKB? What's yeah, definitely this is doing so much damage. I'm so used to seeing Magnum's build from was it Monet just buying it every single. There was a couple of Phantom Lancer players yesterday just buying Ag every single time. I think that this build is definitely what the doctor called for.
Yeah,
in this
that's
situation.
the thing. Like, I think you don't really need Ag build this game, at least not in the early stages. You know, you've got enough with the rest of your team of lockdown with all with the Reaper's side, with the disruption that you can get in the right sort of positions.
Tinker slings another 1,500 gold with the Ags. That is going to be a really big boost for him once he gets it, though. I guess the thing we're going to have to see is Fuckwork's dead. I'm gonna have to see if the sustain from the Necrophos is going to be enough to get him up onto the high ground against the Tinker.
Radiant's top tower.
That's gonna be what they're hoping for, but we'll have to see how it works out with this.
Well, he's got a Radiance coming out to him on the Necro.
Radiant's top
Yeah,
tower.
take seconds. Grab, I guess, just a little more of a farming item. If this game goes late, this would have guaranteed his 6 slot. It's just nice to have on the Necro in general, right?
Against the Ember Spirit, it rips through that Flame Guard.
Yeah, and it just gets you random creep kills and stuff during fights. Gets you more sustain. Pretty nice. So Keen really is trying to lock down the map, trying to keep some wards out. They do spot both Fade and SC moving to position up on top, and people get one of these two. Immediate jump with the press the attack. Fade's trying to go through the trees there, and okay, we'll be able to take back, but they are not letting. Ooh, and Tinker's getting camped. YDS with Shadow Blade and the high ground ward has done it. He's taken out the Tinker. He can set himself up perfectly in those trees. No way to get out of the Mystic Flare. Oh no.
Man, this greed is too much for me, but it's working. Yeah, but I hate it. Yeah.
He didn't even really need the Shadow Blade there because it was just smoked on the wave, I'm pretty sure, but anyway, let's see if Aster can hold for 30 seconds. They do not want to use this Tinker buyback. Tinker cannot buy back here. There's just no way. He needs to get the Aghanim Scepter. They do have a glyph available. They do have pretty decent spam, so they should be able to hold it. They clear out the big wave. Couple slight chains going over to the Necrophos. Erica comes forward now.
The one bonus for Aster right now is that the Aegis was just reclaimed the PL, so they've got this team fight potential where if they can take him out, it's going to be a huge victory for him.
Tinker has to be cautious now. If you die like that, you're like, what waves can I even TP to? I guess so long if he's not TPing where any of the Tinker warp spots are, then should kind of be okay. As Aster actually going for a smoke, hoping to catch somebody out, looking to camp a Tinker on the respawn, but King Game doing well. They're playing together. The Phantom Lancer's a little bit further home, but he's already got full Abyssal Blade. Oh my word. This Phantom Lancer is absolutely terrifying. I think so much work out of this Tinker. A couple more CS to get this Ags. He's heading back to grab it. Should be able to join his team after that. They're controlling the outpost to try and fight around here. They didn't get the flight band combination. And we'll get it the second time around. The BKB gets popped. Everett pumping his BKB. Instead of just on to the farm, was protecting a little bit. Tinker looking for his opportunity. Backlines. SC looking to focus on his but he gets this game. And now he's going to get sized down. Death for 100. Tinker still doing the work. He's come on the book. Helping him out. Jumping in these lanes. Stacking up off of with the defense drop. It's actually YDS in the backlines. He's found the Tinker. He's got the title and he's doing his job. GG gets called. Aster, as soon as the Tinker dies, they know that they have had enough and they're just going to go game 3.
Indeed. well by Poker. They're feeling a little bit salty about that one. Just a lot of things not going their way. It felt like SE was being ripped through like paper in every single team fight. And yeah, the Demonic Purge as well becoming in such handy with the Shadow Demon. You know, you're not able to constantly zip around into team fights. You can't just have the movement speed, have your
Keen Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Keen Gaming's turn to ban. Dire team ban. Keen Gaming's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Alright everyone, welcome back to the last game of the evening. CDA League here, Keen Gaming versus Aster. We are going the distance, game number 3. Let's see what lies in store for us. Doug, I doubt I'm going to be seeing the team again.
Keen Gaming.
No, I think we see things a little bit differently. Can seem pretty consistent though, across both ones. It's 2 BO3s gone through. Nice little contrast to yesterday.
Yeah. No more and this time around, right? The Sapphire getting banned instead. Ember is still on the field. If I was Keen,
10 seconds
I
remaining.
might let us have the Ember again
5
if they want it,
remaining.
but we'll see. I don't know what I'm saying, you know, that it's just a suggestion based on the past game. You know, it could have been a little bit different if one or two heroes had just been a bit different on the Aster side. Being really taking their time here. I guess the Dragon Knight is the other thing that's available, so they get rid of the Coddle. Makes sense to me. After ban what, AA in this spot again? Are they gonna ban the DK? I was wondering if they're gonna ban the Dragon Knight. I'm curious.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Keen Gaming's turn to pick.
Grab, right?
Man, was
Why?
the Shadow Demon really that much of a
It really felt like the Ember Spirit was crippled because of the Shadow Demon. Like, I don't think they're going to go ahead and pick the Ember Spirit again. Fingers crossed, don't make me look stupid, Aster. But I don't know, it just seemed a little bit weird. Like he couldn't get anything done in these team
10
fights.
seconds.
Alright, let's go Keen. Pick Dragon Knight. Do it. Do it. You don't get
Team pick.
Stop
Don't
making us
take
wait.
it.
There it is.
Alright, there we go. There's Dragon Knight.
What a surprise.
Who calls the Dragon Knight? Now, Aster, are you going to take the
There's no coddle
AA?
this time. Remember, you wouldn't think.
Probably not. Okay, so what's the answer here? Do you need to get... do you have to get stacking heroes? Like, do you need the Monkey King or the OD? Do you need something that can buy a vessel quickly? Do you need something with break? I want to see some dragon answers, Aster, since they've let it through. We're just gonna start with Mars. I'm chill with.
You know, it's still not flexible, but something that's here with a Lich. I'm hoping up with that. I think maybe later something like a Void Spirit more on the magic deck can still get. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good way to force the Dragon Knight to not be in this mid lane. That's for sure.
Yeah. Do you think they're keeping it open to the potential of having the softer core if
Yeah,
if the
absolutely.
situation calls for it?
I think it just forces King to do something different with their draft. I think maybe that was the thinking behind the early Ember Spirit pick as well. If you just get straight up counter picked, you can just say, oh, well, now it's position 4. Same
Yeah.
sort of thing. Silencer.
So here comes Phantom Lancer. Keen had like one ban to cover. The preferred choice last game was the Letrak. Okay. Aster.
Susceptible to being ganked, so maybe sorts of heroes roam in onto him. They haven't realized that.
Yeah.
5 seconds.
Or to them banning like Clockwork or something in the same vein. What else? I don't know if you really want to be banning a support, but Keen have already taken 2 cores. I guess you could try and restrict their offlane options a little bit more, like, but you don't really care if they pick Centaur in this position. The one thing to be wary of is that Dragon Knight could also end up being free, and then Keen could still have a mid pick up their sleeve somewhere.
I'd ban the Bat Rider if I were Aster right now.
Yeah,
I think that's
fair.
It's a really good laner. You're going to be able to deal with the Mars reasonably well. Yeah, AA, that's fine.
Still just gonna ban the AA, okay. Then what? They just take a support, just fish for some more information.
I mean, they could pick the bat themselves, and if they catch out the right target, it's a good combo.
I guess, but yeah, that sounds there's kind of a classic, but I don't know if you want to be picking the bat when your default matchup in the game is going to be the Phantom Lancer.
5 seconds remaining.
So.
Doesn't have to be a 5, sorry, a 3. Can
That's true.
be flex.
Aster.
I can see that. Like, it just feels like the sort of hero that Bo3 would really like to play.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of other supports like, against these 2 cores. What support would I most want to be playing? Like, they could try and squeeze in a Shaker 4, but it's a bit greedy. What else?
I still think the Lich is fine, you know?
Yeah.
Got a lot of Phantom Lancer illusions around it going about.
Yeah, I guess. But do you really care if it's bouncing on just a bunch of illusions? Like,
Maresca has arrived.
okay, Dark Willow, it's decent against Phantom Lancer. The Terrorize is a really good way to isolate the real one. Lots of magical damage against the Dragon Knight. Pretty good combo with Mars. This is actually a combo that I feel like I haven't seen for a while, even though Mars has been so popular. And this was like the original combo when Mars was first coming in on the scene.
5 seconds remaining.
Haven't seen it for a little bit, so
Just force it to run into the
yeah,
wall.
the wall over and over.
Yeah. That being said, I'm really surprised that we haven't seen more of, Dark Willow and other heroes that provide fears combo together with things like the Puck. It's just to be able to instantly, well, not instantly, but break the Dream Coil. It has a really big impact. I mean, we've seen it a couple of times with Terrorblade and building into an Aghanim Scepter.
Have you seen that? I have not seen that.
I have seen that. I was casting with Lyrical the other day, and
Oh, wow.
it happened.
Oh my god. I'm like nodding along, and then you heard saying Terrorblade and Megan's
Oh yeah, first item Ag Scepter on Terrorblade.
No way, really?
Oh yeah.
I feel like you're... I believe you, but I also feel like you're pulling my leg. First item Aghanim Scepter. Okay. Can I see the replay? No. Aurora Borealis
Yeah.
at this time of day.
5 seconds remaining.
No.
Is it?
All right, so Underlord coming in, certainly a good counterpick to the Phantom Lancer. But now they have kind of a weird situation with who's going where, what are their lanes. I think it could even be maybe Mars mid. I imagine that Underlord also has an okay matchup against Dragon Knight mid, but I think the whole point of this Underlord is to go run him at the Phantom Lance. So we'll have to see. Keen probably just. Oh, actually, I guess they could grab a core here. They don't have the last overall pick. Okay. What was the first item? Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Still, that's really early. Like, that's still. Yeah, that's wild.
Dire team back. Queen of.
All right. Keen grab a cup. I was wondering if they were gonna like. So I think they are putting the Dragon Knight at the position 3 now. Maybe could be offlane qual. But I was wondering if they were just gonna grab like an OD or something. But maybe you don't want to be playing OD into the Silence of Dark Will. Though I guess Quap is not much better, really.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
I'll have to see.
I feel like the Quap would have been really effective actually against Keen Gaming if Aster were to pick it up.
Yeah, it could have been a good pick for them, certainly. I think the other angle that they're looking at is that somebody out of the, well, in theory, somebody out of the Mars Underlord has to be going mid, but in practice, that may not actually be the case. It could be like 4 Mars, Underlord is the 3, and then it's Silencer mid. Which would be
probably Quap, right?
Yeah, it would be a wild, wonderful situation. Well, is Silencer better mid than... I don't know any of these matchups. Do you know the Quap Mars, Quap Silencer, and Quap Underlord mid matchups? I have no idea. I'm not even going to pretend that I know about those matchups.
I mean, maybe they're still leaving their mid until the last pick. They could go something like a TA? No, not really.
No, TA's terrible this game. This is an even worse TA game than the one where they actually picked it just before.
Well, TA actually does pretty decently against the Quap. I know you might not think that she does because of the Shadow Strike getting rid of the refraction, but of course having a lot of little things that can get rid of your refraction on the PL side as well as the damage over time and everything else, it's not fantastic.
So, Naga Siren banned out. Aster likely still looking for the big pause 1 here. What exactly it's going to be, I'm not sure.
Remaining.
Something like a Slark. Slark looks okay. Monk King actually not bad. Not a bad suggestion, but Lena. What?
Alright, let's see what these lanes are.
Alright, Mars 1.
Lena 2.
Lena's mid. Underlord, okay. So it's just a 5 silencer.
Yeah. I think that's fine. You can pick it as that first phase hero. It means that Key would need to adjust their draft around, which they kind of have.
Yeah, I just think the global is going to be valuable this game. And the Lena certainly has a good matchup against the Quap.
10 seconds remaining.
Again, she is susceptible to being ganked as well, and this task pretty good at it. That rotation.
Wait, so do they have? So it's offlane Quap, right?
I cannot tell the difference.
I looked at the previous game by tabbing out.
Yeah.
And it was the person that was playing the Legion Commander in the previous game is playing Quap this game. So after the counter pick from Aster, they've just decided to go back to PK is middle, and Quap is playing on the side lane. This is actually probably quite annoying for Mars, right? You're playing against like a Quap Tusk dual lane, and you've only got a Silencer as your support. Like, Silencer's an okay laning hero, but he can't man up against Quinnipian Tusk at all. If he gets a Shadow Strike on him and the tag team starts going, he's just dead.
Yeah.
So I like this adjustment from Keen.
It's a lot of faith being put into both of the heroes. If ST's getting going on, then you need to be getting really proactive on Baboka's end to try and harass them down, take some of that intellect, and then likewise, if it gets put onto the starter, you need to get a spear away really, really quick, especially on the task if you can stop the tag team.
I do believe in the Dark Willow this game, though. I think
Prepare for battle.
Fade should be set up to have a reasonably good game. What do we got? Tusk's already started with some boots. Quap just statting up to get with. I have seen Lena win this matchup versus DK really hard, but you have to be super proactive. You have to hit your stuns, and you have to just auto attack him almost constantly for like the first 2 or 3 levels, and then you can kind of wear him down and get like a kill at level 5, but it's not. Normally the way this normally goes is that Lena just kind of trades farm with DK, and he's a little bit behind, but he's DK, so who cares, kind of thing.
Yep.
To battle.
Alright, we've got this Underlord. What little bit, he doesn't have the greatest amount of regen on himself, just the one set of tangos.
Yeah.
So you're about getting caught out.
Yeah, I don't have the regen, but after running up the hill here, turns blows Fade. Manning up, does have his teammate coming over to help him out. Fade does not want to be forced into the Shadow Realm if he can help it, but here comes the tag team, and to the Shadow Realm is the response. XXS does manage to swoop in there and grab the bounty, and Baboka with a little wraparound is going to be able to grab himself another, so start faster there.
We did a good job of doing a little vision check on the mid tower, so you've been able to deward it already for his mid laner, so nicely done.
Very nice. Certainly helpful. YDS running back over top. After blocking it all the way back, so just outside of tower range. Definitely going to be very important that they keep this in control. And Baboka already skilling it. They're just going to go straight in for trades, and they do get the deny on their range creep early on. So should be able to keep the lane nice and static. And, actually, Triple C getting sniped, and YDX dragging the second creep wave. So seeing that he was a little bit late to the lane, but Aster had already got things kind of under control, is now going to introduce some chaos. And this is 100% the right effort to be making in this situation.
What are your thoughts on the double Sage's mask on Baboka?
Oh, interesting. I just assumed he was gonna get like a Basti or something, but it's a nice mana regen. It's gonna give him a lot to spam with the glaives. He's got really high hits, right? So yeah, it's gonna give him a lot of mana regen off of that. Why do you guys just trading blows with the tag team? But happy to sit here and keep on chunking. He does have a salve to fall back on a little bit later on. As Triple C can come over and threaten the spear, can force that back, and Quap. You can't miss that range creep. What is that? There's no one around, there's no tower, there's nothing here, and you miss the range creep past it.
But tell us what you really think, Cam.
That is a CS lull if I have ever seen one.
Well, been aggressive here on the Baboka. Luckily he's cut himself a pathway through the trees to escape. And yeah, I think the Basti ring is a smart choice. Maybe he'd be the one to go into the Veil early on. Maybe he'll get a medallion picked up for himself with his other sages.
Or he's just buy a neck book as fast as humanly possible. It's
as a 5 though?
the least likely choice. What other options we got? I think Earn, pretty likely. Though maybe the Dark Willow would be buying to earn this game, who knows? It is a pretty common pickup, though it has already started with the headdress, so.
I think Medallion's just super value, especially considering the fact that YDS is probably going to be picking it up as well. So to be able to counteract any sort of mind sum that gets put onto your team is pretty critical.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in
maybe.
Oh, Izzy, spear back, deny, maybe, Triple C not interested, but he just wanted to kill instead. It will be the first blood drawn by the Queen of Pain. Actually standing her ground, throwing out the dagger, gonna harass Triple C down a little more as he tries to retreat back, not gonna be able to contest any of these CS. I'm walking Quab.
Oh, oh no, no.
He's fine. Wave's pushing a bit. XXS 2 points up in the atrophy. Already has 400 health on him. He's going to be very difficult to dislodge in this lane. You can see up is already spammed through all of his mana. Not much else he can do. Why do you try and put sneaky rotation toward the mid? Not so sneaky, very spotted, but lead in a pretty compromised position and no help. Really forthcoming tag team, just giving them the rundown. Trying for the command, but the YDS will be the one securing that kill.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to see like lots of little objectives being taken throughout the map. It seems now at 4 minutes, every single support's just like, all right, time. No, it seems like an absolute necessity compared to the 2 minute mark.
Yeah, there has been a lot of movement. What do you guys, 2 braces? Okay, he's chill now. He's actually winning the middle game after that gank. Why did Simpleton just head back top? Queen of Pain getting fine CS here. This laning adjustment has turned out to be great, and you know me, I'm not a huge believer in the Lena anyway, so just worrying that he's not getting up to the best of starts. It's not terrible, but not amazing either.
Yeah, but not terrible isn't really what you want when it was your last pick.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be getting a lot of value out of this.
And when you think about it, like you said, he's Dragon Knight's been able to pick up a couple of braces, so he's doing fine. You're also coming up against the massive armor from the Dragon Knight, so all of this harass isn't really doing all too much, and he's doing really well in terms of the deny count.
Yeah. And when it comes to the mid game, the Dragon Knight and the Phantom Lancer are just gonna walk at you as Luna. Like, you do have Infinity, you have some beefy boys to protect you. You've got the Underlord and the bars to kind of get up in their face and protect the Luna. That certainly should be helpful, but just gonna have to be super careful with his position in these fights. And okay, Fade scouting out. This is the same problem that we saw in the other game, though. The middle lane starts to tip a little bit, or there's pressure coming in, and then Fade is being forced away to convert the ship, and as a result, they're going to be not getting as much pressure as they would want. Though it does seem like XX is winning this lane by himself. It's fine. Denying very heavily against the Phantom Lancer, who just sitting there very sadly with his -20.
But yeah, what can you do against that? You're just sitting at a, what, 50 attack damage disadvantage?
Yeah, so what's it like? 110 versus
60?
60? Oh, God. You got that one at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay if you go something like Keeper of the Light to combo together with him. At least you can spam out those Spirit Lancers. You can build Phantom Rush for a range creep, because then you can just get Blinding Light back if they try and turn on you. But with this, like, what can you do?
Yeah, there's no standing at this man in this position at success. Just bringing pressure in with the siege creep. Phantom Lance just hitting up the jungle. He's got some gloves of haste, and he is a jungle farm. They're making an attempt on the Afu. Nice little jukes. Keeps the tree, keeps on heading through, does throw up the frost shield to keep his tower alive a little bit longer, but how much can he really do? He's trying to lead the creep wave away on a merit case.
I like it.
It's actually working. This is pretty good. Peek snipe another courier. No,
I mean,
run it.
I hope not.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it.
God.
He's got it. He's got it. Fade, what are you doing? Yeah, he's gonna get the kill, but... Or will it actually got stick charges? Alright, high ground. Fog. TP?
Hey, come on.
What a god.
Oh, that's a little unfade though, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, your career definitely shouldn't die like that, but and still surviving afterwards is the big play there. Mid tower is just getting chunked by Dragon Knight. No cares about Lena in the world. But they've got this big Underlord problem in their bottom lane.
With the Vanguard, by the way.
Yeah. And some extra regen on top of that. I was like, nah, you know what? That's your creep wave, but he's aggroing again. Off. Man, there's a shit happening mid. Whatever. Lena's dead. And actually looking kind of dead as well. Where's that snowball going? Off getting kicked down. Does have a regen route. Off loses his life. It's gonna be plus 2 for good old Bo3, but not the best trade really, losing Lena. And after rotating everybody only to get the Tusk kill.
Yeah, actually a sick play by the Tusk to just draw all of the attention away. And it was a bit of a Delta split moment happening with the Dragon Knight moving left, Queen of Pain going right.
Well, that looked somewhat promising, but SC just walks up, it's Dragon Tailed, and that's the end of that. I don't think he had damage to get the kill. This Dragon is very tanky. Or raindrop, and the raindrop rare as well. Okay, this Underlord is just parking down here, right? That's all his game plan is. He's buying Atos, trying to get some little fan against the Queen of Pain. She's buying some treads so far. I think she's surprised why. Comes in. He's got a couple of wards here protecting him. I don't think he should die unless he blocks himself with ice shards. And actually now just looking at the turn and scene fact. They got the Dragon Knight and moving into position. Some tanky might be able to see a ring out with only Fade here trying to help him. And Bramble is not really going to do too much at the end of the day.
At level 4 Fade, still not able to get that terrorized at the end of the day. And, you know, immediate transition now. They've got the push onto this tower. They've got the siege wave here. Get a lot done.
Yeah, they're the lumber Underlord into position. So, after you can kind of run at, it's fine. How's PL doing? So, opted as we can take for the full stuff. Thinking about that. I did the tower, but Bo3 actually we're gonna try and help him out. He's still pretty tanky. Offered full of his spell. Stun still catches the Dragon Knight. Now SC comes in, pushes Dragon Knight a little bit further back, and he's actually a decent position. Keep on living here, but snowball coming through. Success. It's a feedback, but SC losing a lot of life very quickly, and they even forced a global silence just to get them out of there. 1-for-1 trade, but Lena dying again, and they don't get 2-1.
But tier 1, pretty costly, both in terms of, as you said, the hero kills as well as the global silence being popped. It means that now you've got this fan land, so you've got this Queen of Pain that are going to feel a lot more confident to start taking these aggressive movements. We saw there in the middle of that team fight, Quap just blinked forward to the front lines to get the Sonic Wave off onto the Lena. Should look to see a bit more of that.
And Quap just going for a blade mill here.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, giant for sure. Big as well against like the Dark Blow trying to combo you. Lena and she get her equals. Just smash the Nell and didn't not survive, but at least you'll make them think twice about going on your edge. Attack the Dragon and that's how it's 1-6 now. The DK damage coming through. The DK is still tanky though. Now they've got the snowball. It keeps dragging back up onto the high ground zone in power. Taking the damage, just gonna keep on laying with the auto attack. Confident that the team can fight it. They get the point back on him, who tries to tower quickly. Quick thinking from YDS, but faster from SC. They get the deny. And then there's a nice 2 kills for Aster.
Nice 2 kills for Aster, but at the end of the day, that was the perfect chain frost, and it still wasn't enough to win them the fight. So really at this point it's all about making space for Erica, getting closer and closer to that diffusal blade. So I think that in a minute's time, when you've got the next chain frost up, when you've got the next Elder Dragonfall, that's going to be go time for Keen.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, this Underlord still presents a pretty major problem for them. Doesn't have Crimson Guard just yet, so you will still be able to go some of the other cards, but it's not an easy spot to find yourself in as the Phantom. Why is it hogging this Keen off as well? What's this about?
I think it's
swap this for mod regen in a second.
I guess. But it's 6 seconds to go between lanes, between camps. It's probably not going to get any sort of impact from it, right?
Really not. Alright, success. Immediately pops the dark. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Pops a little Shadow Strike, and he's straight back into the fountain. Mono wasted. Quick pain.
He's about 100 or so gold away from finishing up his rod of Atos, so he's going to be ready when Keen are online. You can see now the Fusel Blade picked up by Erica, maybe going for the level 12 before joining in on anything, but Aster, they're keen to go now.
Radiant's middle tower.
Already has level 7, still just working on his Yule. YDS. Well, no matter if they're seemingly not going to take the 200 diffusal. Gets a walk down onto the Tusk, and he gets the snowball off. Won't be able to turn around in time, max stun time from the lane, and that's just a freebie for Aster. It seemed like they knew 100% of giving away power, so shouldn't be giving away freebies like that. It's just a support, but big deal. Dragon Knight is going to pipe just here.
I don't mind it, that's a ton of damage.
Yeah, sure. Global spin pop. In a pretty compromising position, and it's gonna be a free pick for Aster. Oh, custom to global, but
Yeah,
no kills or anything.
I think that's okay.
He's dead.
For ultimate though, so not the worst.
Oh no, was that a mango tree? Did this mango tree just get cut down by the arena of blood?
I think so.
That is so sad. Oh well. Pour one out for Alfu.
Man, I can use a mango now.
Actually, wasn't his mango tree? No, it was a dire mango tree. So he just mowed down. Yeah, I just mowed down his own team's mango tree. This is why you. I know, but this is why you just put it in the base. Guaranteed value. Your Mars won't accidentally cut it down with other blood.
Oh, the pressure keeps mounting up.
Is under attack.
Oh, sorry. Peel's level 13. He's got his diffusal blade. He's nearly finished into his Yasha, but Aster are taking way too much off this map. I think you need to actually start to become a factor in this game.
They're trying to punish. Exit Death can got number. Where's the extra damage? They have blocked him in here. He's just going to be looking to TP out. They're actually getting decent turnaround. And wants out though, so does Fade, and everybody just makes their escape. But left to hoof it back to base.
Radiant's bottom
Great
tower.
instant reaction as well. That was the first fight that Eric actually looked to join. SC called it out as he saw the TP coming through the boss side of the map. Straight away, he uses the Underlord ulti, and it's a wasted rotation from Erica.
This Tusk, it's caught in the pit. Snowball won't be able to use it. Trying to kill spree. He wants a little bit more, runs up into the high ground. He's being feared and just gets popped. This is why you do not walk blind on the hills. Another catch, but too many heroes waiting there for him. Now they get a 4-on-4. Queen of Pain jumping forward to grab some loot. Boboka, a little bit of position, but he's just on a global silence to be able to flip your blade. Now they're coming out. There's the global SC running forward. Wanted to finish out the push. Still pretty tanky, but won't be able to escape here. Mars is low. Afu wants to finish this, but he needs some help from his core. They are instead focusing up to the lead, who's trying to speed her way away from this fight. Fogging gets the stuff up. Here comes the limp, and that will be a great kill for Erica, as there still should be a SCC kill. Second kill there. Run in with the Phantom Lancer, and double kill for this Phantom Lancer.
it seems so odd for me. They continue to fight down the bottom side of the map. They knew Eric was there. Having no team to join in any sort of fights on the top side of the map, it would have been, you know, a relatively easy rush. It would have been pushed down into past the tier 2 tower mid or tier 1 top, or even just continue farming on your side of the map.
And where was the Underlord in that fight? Am I wrong? Is he not there?
He was there at the start because that was the reason the Quap died. He got his APOS off and ended combo. Just a chunk real quick.
But then it just kind of got split up, I think, and the PL found, you know, way too easily. Ooh, they looked for that catch, didn't quite get it. Very time to blink away. But this Phantom Lance is getting big. 10.k net worth. Mars not keeping pace at all. He's behind the Dragon Knight at this point. And it's not like DK went for a farming item. He just got a pipe. So SCC. Even with these, I'm actually surprised his net worth is where it is. He's only got 101 states.
Erica being patient down here, wanting to farm up that secret wave. He's going to just wait, do the neutral camp thing instead, and maximize his time on the bottom side of the map. They've got a good amount of vision around as well, so he can feel pretty safe with where he's from. This like little corner of the map is entirely his.
Yeah, he's got Manta now, so locking down in these fights is very difficult. There is a lot that you need to dispel, so he will need to be careful. You know, it could happen that he up the Manta with that say thing and just immediately gets global or what have you. And he's actually he's queuing up Shadow Blade. Check it out. I guess the Silver Edge to kind of deal with the Underlord. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, I was about to say, I wonder if he's going to start joining in onto these bounty runes that come out for the next 10 seconds. It seems like that is the case. Actually, they've lost the outpost, so... Yeah,
and they've got the time back here on the side of Aster. They're going to go for the Terrorites, put them back. Snowball. All the damage does push them back into the pit. Here comes the global. Willow's still doing what she can. We've got the Dragon Knight standing strong on the front line. He's not really there to help as in the back lines. Phantom here a little bit of a wild goose chase, just trying to get back into the fight now. He does get locked down. Back success. He's figured out the real world. And SCC with this double damage, making quick work with the Phantom Mentor. Won't be able to win. Quap gets the blade mail off, still surviving. Gets the blink out. She's okay, and it's still just Dragon Knight so far. But Ato's back off cooldown, and now the Lina joins the fray. They pick up the Tusk, hop him back down, grab that kill, and Aster hunting for more, but won't be able to.
Some great evasive action coming there from Chuyan, making sure that a lot of the attention was being focused onto him from both the Peel and the Lich, and able to get away. So made it a 4v3 fight for the rest of the team. Afu just popping his name first on this creep wave on the top side, said, you know what, forget it, it's more time now.
Here, I'm farming. I want this here.
Radiant's bottom
Get out of here.
attack.
Lina getting close-ish to DKB. Bard's going to be going for an Ags next. Still have some mana problems against the Phantom Monster, but definitely a nice source of damage for him. We already talked about what PL's going next. He's still got the Shadow Blade queued up. And Underlord not interested in building the Crimson Guard, just be going for some Greaves and then into a Radiance, in fact.
He had a good start to the game, but he's just started to taper off a little bit, I suppose, wanting to make sure that he can have the potential to get a larger impact in these team fights.
Want to save for Blade later, clearly. The strap. Just wanted a little bit. I don't even know if he wanted a little bit of a ward. I think he just wanted to spike the outpost, but not happening. He converges on his position, and that is going to be the end of him. Boca getting a little ward over on the other side of the map, and we're just kind of chilling for now. Both teams kind of finding their feet, grabbing a couple more items. Doesn't seem like anyone's really in a big rush to make it. They're telling themselves, oh, just this one item and that'll be strong. But most people have another 2 or 3k to farm before they actually get the next round. So we might just be chilling for a little bit. Aster loosely thinking about his top tier tower, but it's not a very important tower when it really comes down to it. So I would not expect him to too much of a fight for it. Though they are TPing in the Tusk and Dragon Knight making his way over. But is this really going to be a fight? Aster bringing numbers. Erica is not here. It's going to be a slightly slow TP. Don't have to fit. Yeah, that just seems super weird. Maybe they're going to fight for the tier 2. I just going to come back. Mid Glit's already being popped. Stop the gang ring to try and keep Quiver alive. I see it threatening the TP, so they try and get some kind of attack over the top. Underlord not the best target, however. He's already got the darts off. Can they maybe find the game over the backline's fade? Will be the target. He gets stunned up, and he's actually going to be the one left for dead, perhaps. He gets the Shadow Worm off, and there isn't any way to interrupt, so. TP.
YDS just punching a creep in frustration.
I see. Spear not doing anything. He will be able to just round the bulwark and walk himself out here. Now he's got no mana, and fight is coming to him. YDS and Alpha both moving in. The Tusk looks eager to get a jump here. I think the Phantom Lancer could have even stopped on that a little bit longer, but still finds a double damage and still will reset this fight anyway. SCC still heading back to the mountain. Aster knowing that, thinking to themselves, okay, maybe bars can TP in. That could TP still on cooldown for 20 seconds.
They get the scan off, so they know that they've at least taken a step into this roach pit they've left. And yeah, it's really a case of the double damage is nice, but this dragon form is about to wear off, so not going to be able to get maximum efficiency out of anything. Really just going to be farming up a little bit faster here on Erica.
And the dragon form is on cooldown. Streaking out, looking for something. They don't have a whole lot of vision of anything, and the radiant scan is that near the pit. But it clears out now, so Keen should know that this isn't actually a Roshan attempt. It's just a smoke gank in that vicinity, and instead they head over into their jungle. Afu looking to establish a couple more wards down here and create a little pocket farm, a couple of events, and they'll just grab the opposite bounties.
So he's got the Shadow Blade now on the Phantom Lancer, doesn't have the Silver Edge queued up, he's going to the half end, so he just wanted a Shadow Blade, yeah. Something a little different. Lich is getting caught out, but yeah, it's just the +5.
That's weird. Casual Shadow Blade. I guess you're.
Yeah, that's a Spyro item, you know.
Yeah. I don't have double lock anymore. Just want my back. I can see for kind of getting into the back lines and just trying to kill off the silencer and stuff instantly, and you are putting some pressure on the enemy team. Phantom Lancer not an easy hero to keep a dust on or anything like that.
Yeah.
Fade is sizing up this fight here, trying to get some kind of initiation going. Catching up the Dragon Knight, but he is very terrorizing. They will be able to push him over. Here comes the global silence. Dragon Knight now getting walloped. Just too much locked in, can't move an inch. And on the other side, Queen of Pain, short little blink away, but that's all the mana he got. BKB popped. Look at the BKB out, and we'll be fine with that. But that is your 10-second BKB charge used for nothing.
Now, you're more of an off-lane player than I am, Kip. What is your opinion on this Acceptor build on the Mars? Because I can completely understand it as like maybe 4th item or so, just because of wanting to allow the Gods of Root to scale. But early on, is it really worth it?
I think it's just because he's the carry Mars who's supposed to be dealing with the Phantom Lancer a bit more. But yeah, I'm not sure about it either. I guess it is also it's gonna speed up his farm a little bit too. So I can definitely see it from that perspective. I'm thinking about, I don't know if I want him to have Vlad instead, or maybe he could have gone BKB, but if you make the argument that it's farming item, this is going to get into BKB faster. Do
you think it could be the fact that you got a Vampire Fangs and it's like, oh, sweet, I don't actually need the Vlads anymore. Now I can go into something a bit more greedy.
Yeah, it could be. I think just overall, it's the carry mentality. I think it's like, I'm the position where I'm supposed to be the winning machine. I need to get the items that are going to make me the most effective against the Phantom Lancer, who's really the only hero that's going to give them a big problem later on. Now look for his fight. He caught out the Lich again. Afu wants this outpost and he's going to let him have it. Us getting caught in the hyper. Can he get his shards pushed down to the low end? No. No chance of that happening. And Triple C eager to go for Roshan.
Yeah, I mean, good timing with it. I wonder if they actually spotted up this Dragon Knight having popped his dragon form to just farm and put.
Yeah, to push it forward.
Yeah. Sorry, my cord came loose again.
I'm not ragging on your cord, bro. It's fine.
Quit ragging on the cord, man.
So Quap's up here just trying to push out top. It seems like they're trying to buy time. Is the street sweeper outside? Hello? Excuse me? Is this some serious noise? That's the sign that I'm up too late, clearly. Anyway, Afu getting around that. He kind of wants to. It does seem like Keep Gaming have gone into full silver mode. They have grabbed the full silver red on this Phantom Lancer. I don't think he's feeling confident enough to try and solo kill the Underlord.
Hasn't taken a talent yet either. Still considering. I don't think there's many situations where we want to go the jump
illusions. Yeah. Seems very situational. The villain kind of always wins out. Okay, so Lena has a Agaster, Tusk's going for a Lotus, Quap's going for a Hex, Dragon Knight's going for the Radiance. It seems like everybody's kind of finding on the late game more and more here as Eric is just taking some kind of weird farm. Ooh, was he gonna try and kill the Boka? No, he's just trying to get it here. He's getting cut off though. X6 found the quick manta, still chasing. No doppel. Fine. But one bounties going Aster's way, top bounties going Keen's way, and we're still just kind of playing the lane control game, looking for a pickoff somewhere.
We were saying that it would be probably based off what we saw in the draft, one of these games that both teams are kind of happy to bring it for 40 minutes and see how it happens from there.
Clock getting locked down, BKB forked out, and that is another. This is almost exactly the same spot that he BKB TP'd on the previous BKB charge. So we got that's 19 seconds worth of BKB used over there. And Lancer is getting run at very heavily. Double XC and Baboka.
They've got a gem on the silencer as well.
Oh, but then they actually find it. The smoke's broken. They're running up through the tree. I don't know if they've actually seen him.
They're with him now.
Oh, that was at the very last second, but it was kind of an awkward pathing spot, and Lena was not ready to try and for the evils immediately. Yeah, close game on the metrics. Network hasn't got above a 3k lead. Win probability staying pretty stable. Fairly big experience lead in Aster's favor. I think the support's maybe just a bit. Support's a bit underleveled on the Radiant team. Yeah, they're a few levels behind their counterparts. Ooh, Baboka's hunting for something. And we really. Oh, on the feet is S3C, but can they actually get this kill? Is on a cooldown, so it does look pretty dead on my screen. And yeah, that's going to be in the. And, ooh, TP out from the Underlord.
Wave's already here as well, so this tier 2 tower's going down.
Yeah, and Keen are going to have to actually come back and defend it. They are not in a position to try and or trade. Also, they've already used their glyph, and Aster have theirs available, so.
Erica has 15 seconds left on his TP cooldown.
Oh no. Yeah, 10 seconds to go. They're losing a lot of HP on this tower. Where's that frost shield? Afu also TP on cooldown. They're just giving away the Slayer Brax absolutely for free.
I hope he doesn't TP now at the very end of it all.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got to fully commit. At least to get the tier 2 like small consolation prize. But man, that's some ill-discipline punished.
Yeah, that really hurts. I really think that this Dragon Knight could be so much bigger as well if he just hadn't gone for this item build. Like,
The pipe specifically?
I think the pipe is fine, but maybe just go like what is that halberd right?
Yeah.
You're mostly gonna die to magical damage. There doesn't really seem to be one where disarming them is this amazing, like, game-breaking thing, right? So
Yeah.
I think if you just bought like a Maelstrom, hell, even Blink is kind of a farming thing. It kind of gives you some mobility and stuff. I know that the Quap and the PL are soaking up a lot of farm on that, but what is this Dragon Knight really doing at this point?
I mean, he's going into his BKB next, then building up into the Radiance. I think if he gets late enough, he might get an axe after that, just for the additional movement. But it just feels like a complete non-factor, sitting well down in 6th on the net worth charts.
And this is a hero that we've been talking about all day, and how statistically he's this amazing hero this patch, and being banned a ton and everything else. Here we are at this game, just not really getting the impact. We have that BK coming out from the Mars, so kind of like I was saying, just this Agony Adapter has gone into the next item that little bit faster, and doesn't have the agent anymore. Do have this Hex on the campaign.
And a smoke coming through here. They're standing underneath this observer ward right here.
Yes, hiding in the trees. He's jumping forward aggressively. They're after the Phantom Lancer. He's still in for now. We'll just try to terrorize. Not to lock him down as Faye just keeps on moving. Here comes the Hex, but that's just one. Quick and taking a lot of that into the wall here as Phantom Lancer just gonna have to go for the TP. It ends up being a 1-for-1. They've actually found the Tusk on the high ground, and that Una Blade pierces him straight to the heart. He's gone.
I think that was a small little misplay there from YDS as well. They're looking to immediately go through onto this mid lane.
Yeah, one more off okay, but still getting chased by SCCC. Pretty fast, and you need to be careful on this high ground.
Yeah, the Tusk was standing up on that high ground there, had really good vision. He saw that the Lina was TPing onto a creep, and he actually used the Walrus Punch not onto the creep that it was TPing onto.
PL getting pushed back, losing a lot of life vision of the Laguna Blade, and that's another kill. Dragon Knight's not even here. His TP is on cooldown. He doesn't have all the Aster in this situation, and Aster with all of the damage on the Underlord are just chunking through the buildings. And they're closing this one out very shortly. Phantom Lancer does have a buyback available, and he's gonna have to use it. There's no way that Aster is going anywhere. Okay, here's the Dragon. Pop back on the Phantom Lancer. They're coming in. Frost deployed. He did just flip a Bo3. Does Dragon a little bit further. Good damage. Success. They kill off the Tusk. Aster still standing their ground. They want this Underlord kill. He got the Guardian Greaves terrorized, protects a little bit. Dragon Knight that's managed to step it in. Faye still trying his Underlord out of the area to go for TP. Sonic will then to him as net Fade has to try and make his escape. He's being hexed up. He does have strength. He gets out of the hex. But there's a badge coming in from Erica, and we will find that secondary kill. Keen Gaming to get back here.
Rafu, he just drove the line straight up mid lane. He wants to push this out as quickly as possible. He knows that they need to force out at least some sort of win condition from Aster. Will they use a buyback and then buyback?
Lancer is seems to kill currently. I guess he pushes mid and yeah. Maybe it can make something happen. There isn't Glyph. There are backs. I don't think Mars would need to go back. Maybe the other would need to think about it just to guarantee the Mars to respawn, but we will have to see. We got the wave pretty quickly. Here comes the Phantom Lancer, 2-3 taking damage. Rebecca thinks about throwing her King Creep. He's actually got a 4-gate on his silencer. Gonna worry he found the farm for the Tusk repair kit. Holding on to it a little bit longer forward. We've got the Mars respawn. Glyph coming in. The repair kit doing its will jump for speed back in between the two buildings. Now the Laguna Blade. I believe also pops BKB. The coming through from Phantom Lancer, good Glimmer Cape is going to keep him alive. He was actually looking for a part of dust of his own. Let's get caught now. They're going up with illusions. There's no Phantom Lancer now revealing himself. And they keep him locked in. Terrorite is they've got Eagles. Terrorite and the stone waiting for him. That's Phantom dying back. I don't know what Keen can really do. He's going to try and TP everyone to bottom. Had success. Unfortunately, forced to cancel that. I think maybe the creep dying.
After you stay from on it to kill it.
Yeah, oh my god. I mean, otherwise this game would be over way faster, but I think that might still be the end here as Aster to make a quick march down mid.
Yes, such a huge portion of your net worth is on this Phantom Lancer. It feels like he was really the only one turning team fights in your favor, and now with him for 80 seconds, it just feels like the inevitable is about to happen.
And damage from R is actually pretty impressive at that fight. 7 God's Rebukes off. Clearing up the illusion. And now Aster just coming in to work on the 2 force. There is a glyph available, but no way in hell you can get this Phantom Lancer on. Aster can see block at the main of the arena, backing that, trying to hide inside of the fountain, but Liquipedia gonna have to put in a ton of work here, and it just does not seem possible. BK pop. SC just playing the objective, focusing on the tier 4s, Shadow Strikes coming through, Dragon Knight, tanky, but maybe not tanky enough to snowball them a little bit further out of position. As people see Pop just kicking and runs in there, getting locked down, the Liquid the place finishes him off. He's gonna fight back. Radiance, like, that can have it, but still working on the nation, and this should be the end of it. GG called by Author with a lot of something. They're fighting to the bitter end. It's nice to see, but only going to be at
And nice rounded out. I'm sure Aster were on the edge of their seat in that game too after convincing turnaround by Keen, but that time around it seemed like a much more of a measured response from them.